Okay, everybody, we're on Facebook and YouTube live right now. And by the way, if you're wondering where I have been, I thought that we were on Facebook and YouTube live for a few minutes. And then as I went to my laptop, it's like, oh, no, we're not, because I forgot to hit the Go Live Now button, which is pretty important. Do want to get you with an update that just came out from the Storm Prediction Center here just in the last few minutes, and that is that Cass and Berrien counties have now been added to the tornado watch. That goes until 3 o'clock. So that goes until 3 o'clock in the morning. So this is what we have going on now. I'm live in the studio so that we can continue our coverage. Gonna slide this camera over just a little bit, which means basically we're also going to be out here um, for the newscast that's coming up at 11 o'clock. So Jessica's over here. I mean, you can't see her, but you have to trust me. There you hear her. So you see what we have here, that tornado watch has been issued now for, or extended, if you will. It's been pushed off to the east just a little bit. And it does include a portion of um, a portion of uh, West Michigan there, just barely. Just Cass and Berrien counties are now included in that. Okay, so that's included in that. Let me go to a different page here. We're starting to see a little bit more lightning on the South Haven camera. I'll show you that coming up in just a few moments. Hold on just a moment. Um, no, I didn't want that page. We're going to be live on our newscast here at any time, or not at any time, actually. It's 6 minutes, 10 seconds away. Trying to get my setup all going here. There we go. Now I think, we're good to go. Okay, here we go. Okay, so we'll be live on the air at the same time. Rainisha, I don't think so. I'm going to be able to do some comments here, but I can't read a lot of the comments. We'll be live on the air. The reason I'm setting it up this way, by the way, is so that we can have coverage continuous rather than going down to the digital studio. I would have been on earlier, by the way, but I forgot to hit the live now button. And I'm hoping that you guys are getting the mic check in there while I'm talking. I think so. Oh, maybe I have to turn on my microphone here for air. Yeah, that would help. Here we go. So again, this is new. A tornado watch has been extended. I don't know if you can hear me in there, Jim. Hello, weather 1 2 3 4 5 5 4 3 2 1. Okay, cool. Thank you. So we have a tornado watch for a very small portion. It's Cass and Berrien counties. That goes until 3 o'clock in the morning. So let me show you what we have going on here. As we will, let me pop this up. I want to show you what's going on. First of all, I believe I have Chicago up here. Let's see if we can get that going. And then you'll see this is downtown Chicago, which is becoming a little bit more and more of a light show with the thunderstorms there. You can see right now. That's the skyline there looking downtown into Chicago as thunderstorms move through. Now, there's already one line of thunderstorms that's moving out over the Big Lake, but there are some more that are coming through the downtown Chicago area right now. I will say this, it does seem like the northern edge of this line, which was going really strong north of Milwaukee all the way up across Lake Michigan, that was going quite strong. Now it seems to be weakening. Let me show you what it's looking like now from South Haven. This is the view now from South Haven. And every now and then you'll see some lightning that'll be coming up here. And by the way, we're going on the air in about 4 minutes. So when we do that, I won't be able to talk, obviously, like I'm talking to you right now, but you'll be able to get the weather update. And then the advantage here is that whenever we get off the air at 11:33-ish, then I'll be able to get right into continuous coverage here with storm coverage. This is looking live over the Big Lake from South Haven. And you can see the lightning there, lighting up the sky as the thunderstorms approach. So where are they now? Let's get right to the radar, and you can see this is our 100-mile scan live here. And I will say there does appear to be some hail within these thunderstorms, but I'm not seeing a lot of vivid lightning with this. So I'm going to take that as a good sign as well. Let's put this into motion. You'll see what we're looking at here as these thunderstorms continue to move across the lake. Now notice there's some already up around Pentwater, Manistee, but no warnings associated with these thunderstorms. So that certainly is some good news. So let's slide back and show you what's coming through the Chicago area right now. And you can see those storms right now that are going through the Chicago area. Those are the storms that we have an eye on. Even a little bit earlier, I think I was mentioning that I was a little more concerned about the southern edge of these thunderstorms. And that's proving, I think, right now to be pretty much the way to go with that. And so that area that's now coming across the big lake here is what we're looking at. So I'm going to try a move here. I think I can get out of this and still stay on. Yeah, okay, cool. This is going to be good. So that's what we're looking at. We're about 2.5 minutes away from going live on News Channel 3. Of course, you can watch there as well. And then we'll continue with the Facebook Live coverage here, the Facebook live stream and the YouTube live stream. That'll continue going even after the newscast. Because, really these thunderstorms have not been projected, earlier if you were watching me at 5:30, and 6. That I had sort of targeted our time window, our window of opportunity from about 11 o'clock to about 3 o'clock in the morning. And that 11 o'clock might be a little bit on the early side, although Muskegon County's been seeing a few of these thunderstorms, non-severe. But I do think once we get to midnight, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, we're going to be in the middle of these thunderstorms. They're going to be marching across the area. You can see what we have going on right now with the radar here, as you see that on the left side of the screen. Again, just a reminder, there is a tornado watch right now that does extend into Berrien and Cass counties, And the reason for that, by the way, the rationale from the Storm Prediction Center is that these storms are sort of propagating to the east. And the thinking is that some of that strength, even though it is starting to weaken, that's from the Storm Prediction Center, that some of that strength might hold as it goes through South Bend and approaches Fort Wayne, where you see that yellow is where we have the tornado watch. However, areas in West Michigan right now are not targeted for that kind of activity. So we'll have to keep that in mind. We're about 45 seconds away from going live on air. So whenever we do go live, like I said, you'll hear me get quiet. You'll probably hear Jessica over there talking. And so that's how we're going to be doing this as we go forward with our coverage here. So again, we're live on YouTube. We're live on our News Channel 3 Facebook page, covering the storms that are approaching West Michigan. And we'll have a live update in 30 seconds on News Channel 3. And as I'm able to talk to you on Facebook and YouTube, I'll be doing that, of course, as I can.
A homicide investigation is now underway after a shooting in Kalamazoo's Vine neighborhood. What police are saying tonight and what we know about the victim. Plus, Governor Gretchen Whitmer is expanding the state of emergency in Michigan to include more counties and cities, how this will help people impacted by this week's severe weather. And high levels of copper have been found in the drinking water at the Kalamazoo County Jail. How long will it take to fix this problem and what the inmates' families are saying about it? News Channel 3 Live at 11 starts right now. Good Friday evening. We begin with a live look over downtown Kalamazoo. It's been a week full of wicked weather with multiple tornadoes, severe storms, strong winds, and a lot of rain causing flooding across West Michigan. And we're not in the clear just yet. More storms are coming overnight, and some of them could be severe. Thank you so much for joining us on News Channel 3 Live at 11. I'm Jessica Hartmore. Well, let's get right to Chief Meteorologist Keith Thompson, who's tracking these storms right now.
Yeah, and we do have a new development, as a matter of fact, just out from the Storm Prediction Center as these storms continue to move in our direction. And that is a tornado watch has now been extended, if you will, from Illinois into northern Indiana. And now it does cover Berrien and Cass counties. So Berrien and Cass counties now under a tornado watch until 3 o'clock in the morning. In fact, there you see it on the map right there, Berrien, Cass counties. This is primarily really for northern Indiana. But again, those two counties are under this tornado watch. No warnings in effect for our area right now. Let's look at downtown Chicago. We've been watching just across the lake in Milwaukee and Chicago, where the thunderstorms have been putting on a light show. This is the live view right now of that iconic skyline there. And every now and then you'll see a little bit of lightning. Where you're going to see more lightning is this shot here in South Haven. This is South Beach Live right now. This is courtesy of the city of South Haven, and you can definitely see the light show that's going on here. These are the storms that are crossing Lake Michigan, and they're going to be moving in. They already are moving into the Muskegon area here. Again, no warnings in effect at this time. No warnings in effect at this time from these thunderstorms. But as you see right now in the Muskegon area, we have a few of these thunderstorms with some lightning. This is all part of a line that's pretty hefty as it's coming over Lake Michigan. But I will say this, it does appear to be weakening. The big question, of course, is it going to be weakening so much that it won't even bring us any damaging winds? Let's go hour by hour. We start off at 11 o'clock. It initializes pretty well. As we say, that means that the model has a pretty good handle on what's going on right now. Here it is at midnight. Notice we have these big thunderstorms coming on shore here at 1 o'clock in the morning, at 2 o'clock in the morning, and about 3 o'clock in the morning. And then they'll be sliding off to the east by about 7 o'clock in the morning. Certainly, this will be over. We'll continue to see some scattered showers, and it will be getting cooler. I'll have that part of the forecast. We'll talk more about these storms moving in coming up in just a little bit. Jessica?
All right, Keith, thanks so much. Governor Gretchen Whitmer has added 5 counties and 2 cities to her state of emergency declaration. Those counties include Kalamazoo and Muskegon, and one of the cities is Kalamazoo. The governor says the severe weather poses a significant threat of widespread injury and displacement of those living in the counties and cities that have been placed under this order. The declaration will help the impacted areas with recovery efforts as they work to clean up damaged homes, roads, and businesses. The city of Kalamazoo also issued a state of emergency caused by flooding. Kalamazoo Department of Public Safety officers have been deployed around the city tonight to help those in need. People are being asked to keep a close eye on their basements for signs of flooding. You can also pick up sandbags to keep the water away from your home. They're available at the Northside Association for Community Development, Douglas Community Association, and Edison Neighborhood Association. Michigan State Police are also distributing cleanup kits for those impacted. Muskegon County has also issued a state of emergency. Take a look at these pictures right here from the Fruitport Township Police Department. They flew a drone to get a better look at this massive amount of flooding. Emergency management says that several roads are closed right now, and while all dams there are functioning as intended, officials are closely monitoring them. Muskegon County officials say they will also continue to assess impacts, coordinate debris management and infrastructure response, and provide updates over the coming days. We are learning new information tonight about a shooting in Kalamazoo's Vine neighborhood. Police have upgraded the shooting to a homicide investigation. And right now we know the victim is a 29-year-old man. News Channel 3's Carter Landis has more.
People are back skating and spending time with Davis Street Park in the Vine neighborhood. But hours ago, the park was covered up by police tape and covered with evidence markers because of a fatal shooter. Police vehicles lining the streets in the Vine neighborhood, Kalamazoo, from Plain Street to Vine.
Okay, everybody, have a moment here anyway, just to update. We have a story that's running so that we can talk here in the studio. Again, live on Facebook, live on YouTube, with continuing coverage here of these thunderstorms as they move across Lake Michigan, move through northern Indiana. Right now, no warnings in effect for us here in West Michigan, but one important update just a few minutes ago, and that is that the Storm Prediction Center moved that tornado watch that had been in Northeast Illinois in the Chicago area. Then they sort of inched it over into northwesternmost Indiana. Now they've moved it over to, say, South Bend, and it does include Cass and Berrien County. So Cass and Berrien counties under a tornado watch, and that goes until 3 o'clock in the morning. I'll get back to coverage coming up in just a little bit.
New tonight at 11, a 20-year-old Kalamazoo resident has died after a crash in Texas Township. Michigan State Police say that crash happened just before 7 p.m. on 3rd Street and PQ Avenue. They say the 20-year-old was in a no passing zone when they left the roadway to avoid oncoming traffic and hit a tree. They died at the scene. Their passenger had non-life-threatening injuries. Michigan State Police believe a seatbelt was used, and they don't believe alcohol was a factor in this deadly crash. Well, tonight we're hearing from a woman who helped the victim in a deadly crash in Kalamazoo earlier this week. It happened near the Speedway gas station on Gull Road. Kalamazoo Township Police say a Jeep Grand Cherokee turned in front of Azariah Smith as he was riding his motorcycle and hit him. The driver left the scene, and Smith later died at the hospital. A witness who watched the entire crash unfold recounts the tragic moments after it happened.
I don't want to see anybody having a home. You always have to ask.
Kalamazoo Township Police later located the Jeep involved in this deadly hit and run crash. No arrests have been made yet, and KDPS says they're still investigating. Well, there's growing frustration tonight over unsafe water at the Kalamazoo County Jail, and it could be up to 8 months before this issue is fixed. The Kalamazoo County Sheriff's Office says the city turned off the water to install new water meters early last week. When the health department tested the water, they found high levels of copper. Inmates are told they can use the water to shower, but they can't drink it. Instead, they're receiving bottled water every day. Our team spoke with the girlfriend of an inmate at the jail, and she says she's nervous about his safety.
Or make up our minds. You have to understand you kind of go around like what are you going to do? They're not doing it.
We requested an interview with the sheriff and jail administrator, but we're told they were both unavailable today. A report of a suspicious vehicle in Van Buren County helped deputies to locate a missing man. The sheriff's office says Thursday around 5 p.m. they were dispatched to Riverview Drive in Waverly Township, and there they found a vehicle had been driven into a secluded area behind a home and abandoned. They identified the owner as a 79-year-old man from Jackson. K9 Charlie and his handler joined the investigation, and Charlie established a track leading toward the river. And that's when they say they heard the man calling for help. He was found in the river, holding onto downed trees. Deputies say he was disoriented and exhausted. Well, we've obtained new doorbell camera footage showing a black bear in Ottawa County. The sheriff's office is now alerting the public after it was found roaming around several Georgetown Township neighborhoods this morning. Deputies did not find that bear, but notified the Michigan Department of Natural Resources and also contacted nearby Hudsonville Public Schools. The district kept students inside the buildings for the remainder of the school day. Well, a new report from the Michigan House outlines what it describes as significant state failures in mental health care. The report from the Oversight Subcommittee on Public Health and Food Security identifies 3 key problems: a lack of flexibility, staffing, and administrative support, especially in northern Michigan. It calls the closure of more than a dozen state psychiatric facilities in 1997 a root cause. Michigan is 47th in the nation when it comes to psychiatric bed availability. Hundreds of people remain on wait lists while they're at county jails and hospitals.
Piece the other things forward, they're coming up with programs that are really, you're talking a couple $1,000 a day to place individuals, or in some cases, they're sending people out of state.
The report offers 6 recommendations, including making policies flexible, boosting staff training, investing in modern systems, and building a mental health facility in northern Michigan. The Michigan Department of Health and Human Services did respond to that report, saying it's, quote, committed to ensuring Michigan residents can receive behavioral health care when they need it, where they need it, and at the level of care they need. The Strait of Hormuz is back open, but for how long? Coming up next, the latest on the negotiations between the U.S. and Iran and the threat being issued by Iran's foreign minister as this war continues. And it was a nationwide search that lasted for weeks. What we're uncovering tonight about the upcoming trial for the 8 men accused of escaping a Louisiana prison last spring.
And we're looking live at the Serial City right now. We say hello to you, Battle Creek. We have some showers and thunderstorms that'll be barreling through in just a couple of hours. I'm tracking it all hour by hour across West Michigan. That's coming up. Okay, everybody, thanks for being patient with me here. Just to update you here on what we have going on. We're live on our YouTube channel, live on our Facebook channel, live on my YouTube channel and my Facebook channel as well, with storm coverage here from these storms that are now crossing Lake Michigan. We don't have any warnings in effect. I do want you to know that. I continue to update, my weather here on the iPad, and there is nothing going on here. So that's good news. What you are looking at here, I do believe, as long as we continue to have the stream, which I believe it is going on. Yeah, it does look like it. I'm just delayed on what I see on my laptop, I believe. So what we are seeing here, let me make sure that we are still going. Yes, we are. Good. Okay. So we have the tornado watch that goes until 3 o'clock in the morning. That's for 2 of our counties right now. Okay, that's for 2 of our counties. And that would be Cass and Berrien counties. Let me go back to the live look here over South Haven, where you can certainly see the lightning at play. I'm trying to, let's see here. I've got too many computers going for this old guy. Here we go. A good idea if I mute the microphone. There was just too much going on for my feeble mind. There we go. Okay. Good. Now we're good to go. Now we're good. What you're looking at now is South Haven. And so you can see the lightning that's going on over the lake. We're about 20 seconds away from going back live on air. So I'll have to be quiet because, of course, we'll have a hot mic in the studio. I'll have the weathercast coming up. And then when we get through with our newscast here, I'm going to stay live on our feed on YouTube and on Facebook to keep you up to speed with the storms. But just a reminder, we don't have any warnings right now.
Welcome back to News Channel 3 Live at 11. As the fate of the two-week ceasefire in the U.S.-Iran war remains uncertain, President Trump says negotiators are expected to meet this weekend. Iran's foreign minister announcing earlier today that Iran would reopen the Strait of Hormuz to commercial traffic, but that's conditional. The Speaker of Iran's parliament accused the president of making 7 false claims in 1 hour, but did not specify which claims. He went on to say, quote, "They did not win the war with these lies, and they will certainly not get anywhere in negotiations either." He also warned the Strait of Hormuz would not remain open if the U.S. continues its blockade. President Trump says the blockade will remain in full force until Tehran and Washington strike a deal. A trial date has just been set for 8 of the 10 inmates who escaped the New Orleans Justice Center last May, triggering a nationwide search. The other 2 inmates, who had previously been found incompetent to stand trial, are now undergoing treatment at a state prison. All are charged with simple escape. Authorities say the inmates escaped through a hole from a ripped-out toilet in a cell pod. They allegedly jumped off a loading dock, jumped a fence, and then ran across an interstate highway. Some of the inmates were recaptured within hours. For others, it took days. And for one inmate, they weren't captured until 2 months later. Well, it's a life-threatening and terrifying situation for kids with cancer, being told the drug they need is not available. Often it's tied to our reliance on overseas drug plants that can be shut down over safety concerns with no backup. Lisa Fletcher has an inside look at the front line of ending these drug shortages in a Dallas parking lot.
Okay, we can speak again. I think this story is probably about 2.5 to 3 minutes long, so that'll give me a little bit of time to update you on what's going on. Thanks for hanging with me. By the way, we are live in the studio. Jessica's just on the other side of my camera here. She says hello. I don't want to twist the tripod around because if I touch anything, it breaks. So I try not to touch anything. We do have, here's the latest update. No warnings right now. We have thunderstorms that are approaching the lake shore. Right now, we have some thunderstorms that are going on in Muskegon. Non-severe, but let's take a live look here. As we can show you the view down the Muskegon Channel. There it is. Looking over the USS Silversides. That's what has those Christmas lights looking there. And this is looking out over the lake. And you can see the lightning that's going on there. And so this is a sign again of these thunderstorms that are moving right across the lake. That line, if you think of it, is going from northeast to southwest. So Muskegon, Oceana counties are going to see it first, and then it'll move into Holland, then it'll move into South Haven. And speaking of South Haven, we're watching the light show right now in South Haven. Let me get that shot up here. I'm glad that I had played that out. Here we go. You'll be able to see that. You'll see the lightning. It's pretty vivid at times as we're looking out live here. This is live from South Beach. And so I'm going to update everybody on air on News Channel 3 on what's going on with our thunderstorms, and then also take it hour by hour and talk about the chances that we have of having some of these storms being strong overnight. Again, I do want to say we do not have any severe thunderstorm warnings right now, no tornado warnings right now. The only watch that we have right now is a tornado watch, and that is for Berrien County and Cass County. So Berrien and Cass counties. There you see some of the lightning going on there in South Haven right now. as those storms are getting closer and closer to the lakeshore. So we'll be live here on News Channel 3. You'll be able to watch both on Facebook and YouTube and on News Channel 3, I guess, if you choose to do something like that, as we bring new definition to simulcasting here. So I'm getting my maps ready to go. The first one that I'm going to be showing will be that update to the tornado watch to reflect that it now does include Berrien and Cass County. And again, that goes until 3 in the morning. I'm not going to show you necessarily on the graphic here on air anyway, on News Channel 3, but that watch area really is more focused to the south. So northern and central Illinois right now are more at risk, and northern and central Indiana. So I don't expect that it will move into more of West Michigan, but we'll keep an eye on that. That's one of the reasons why I'll continue to cover this on YouTube and Facebook even after we're off the news. We're about to go back on the air.
Make sure.
Singer Meghan Trainor is calling it quits on her upcoming tour. That includes a stop at the Acrisure Amphitheater in Grand Rapids. That was scheduled for June 18th. The pop star took to her Instagram stories yesterday to announce the cancellation of her Getting Girl tour, saying that she needs to focus on her family. The tour was scheduled to kick off on June 12th. She apologized to her fans, saying, "I'm sorry to let you down." Trainor and her husband, actor Daryl Sabara, welcomed their third child in January. Her new album, Toy With Me, is set to be released on April 24.
We are tracking storms that are moving across the lake, storms that have been very active in Wisconsin, in Illinois, in Iowa, and Missouri, and they still are. And the northern fringe of that could still be a little bit potent, and that's why Storm Prediction Center out not that long ago with a tornado watch that does include 2 counties here that we're talking about, Cass and Berrien counties. So Cass and Berrien counties under a tornado watch, and that goes until 3 o'clock in the morning. This watch is really, I think, more intended for areas just off to the south in northern Indiana, northwest Indiana, and northeast Illinois. Let's check out the scene right now because we do have some active thunderstorms going on. This is Hello Muskegon. We're looking down the Muskegon Channel here right out to the big lake. This is the USS Silverside, and we've seen a light show here. It's raining right now, and every now and then we'll see some of that lightning going on as well, associated with thunderstorms. Here's another view. We're traveling down the lakeshore. We're live in South Haven right now. Well, we definitely have the light show going on here. This is courtesy of the city of South Haven. We're looking out over the South Pier and out over the big lake here, and that's where those big thunderstorms are. And if we wait another couple of 3 seconds, maybe we'll even see some of those light up. But if we don't, we'll just go right to the radar. Here's what we're looking at. South Haven is still out there over the lake just a little bit. Muskegon is right on the lakeshore right now. Let me underscore here. We don't have any warnings in effect right now. And really, I think indications are that this line is weakening. That doesn't mean that it won't still pop a strong wind gust, but hopefully that does bode well for us. This line goes all the way back down into Chicago. And like I said, it's been very active from Milwaukee down to Chicago and then over into Illinois. There have been nearly 24 reports of tornadoes with this line of thunderstorms and close to 400 reports of severe weather. So how's it going to shake out for us? We start at 11. There's that line of thunderstorms from Muskegon out over the lake. Now, some concern here with some big thunderstorms by about midnight, and then we go about 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning with some of these storms moving through. They can still have some strong winds. By about 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, things start to slide out, and then we'll just have some cooler showers for tomorrow morning daybreak. Let's look live right now in GR. This is looking south, right down the Grand, right over the Blue Bridge here. Skies are cloudy there in the heart of Kent County, and it's still quite mild all around right now. In fact, the temperature in Grand Rapids right now is at 70 on the button. We have mid-60s, even mid-70s. It's 75 right now in South Haven. Temperatures overnight will get to about 60, but they're going to continue falling through the day. Those storms will continue for the next few hours, and we'll continue to monitor them, not only here on air, but also on our YouTube channel and on our Facebook channel too. Some morning clouds and showers. In the afternoon, maybe some sun, but it's going to be getting cooler. That temp of 60 will be in the morning. By late afternoon, we're going to be in the mid-40s. Here's a look at your 7-day forecast. Much colder on Sunday. Grab the jacket, but it will be dry for much of next week.
My goodness. All right. So turn the heat on for a day and then we'll have to just wait and see.
Just in the meantime, the rivers will get to go down. That's good news.
All right. Good news there. Thanks, Keith. Coming up next in sports, the Broncos look to keep their winning streak going as they welcome Toledo to town.
All right, everybody. So we'll continue on here. Nate's about to do sports. We're live on Facebook and YouTube, by the way. So the reason that we're going to keep this going is so that whenever we do get off the newscast, we can go seamlessly right into Facebook and YouTube instead of having to take a break and to hook everything back up. It's just easier just to let it run through the whole newscast. So that's what we're going to be doing. So again, just a reminder, no warnings right now. You see the 7-day that's up there right now. I'm going to go back to that view looking over South Haven, where it's quite the light show going on with the lightning as those storms. But as you just watched, if you just saw, they're still probably 30, 40 miles out over the lake. So it's a little bit deceptive here. Makes it look like it's just about to come right onto the lakeshore, but it's still out there just a little way. So here's the view in South Haven, looking out over the pier. And like I said, every now and then you'll see the sky sort of light up with the lightning. Just a reminder, no warnings in effect right now. Going to continue to keep an eye on that. There are some marine warnings out there, but I don't think we have any mariners who are out there on the big lake right now. But even the marine warnings that we have, for example, for the ones that are coming close to our lake shore, 40 knot winds, for example, and that's not severe level. But once we get the ones that are just coming out of Chicago, those are a little bit more concerning. But even there, those have died down significantly. They had winds of 65 to 70 knots an hour ago. It's down to 50 knots right now. So hopefully that trend, which was suggested by the forecast models earlier today, will come to pass. And if that does happen, then we'll get some bark, but not a lot of bite out of these storms. And that means that we can all go to bed a little bit earlier and not have to worry about what's going to be happening. So Nate's going to be doing sports here coming up in just a minute. So I'll have to keep my mouth shut. Wow, Nate updates us on.
You can join in.
No. That was like, who do I hear in the background? No, you should. If you're not watching right now, you should watch so you can get caught up on Western softball. So you can get caught up on Portage Northern and K Central baseball.
Mhm.
You can get caught up on the Tigers and how they did. See, I pay attention.
I appreciate. I know you pay attention. I only see you come out of the weather center and watch whether it's the 6th or the 10th. I know that you're an adamant viewer. News Channel 3 Sports. It may be the middle of April, but for high schoolers hoping to play for a state title, they're busy thinking about the middle of June. But to get there, you're gonna need to win in the middle of April. Bit of a chicken and an egg thing going on there. Hey, return to the smack, at least the Channel 3 airwaves between Kalamazoo Central and Portage Northern. First inning, Giants getting aggressive on the base pass. Even Wadada says no thank you. Guns down Parker Hagelin that second to get out the inning. Bummer for Hagelin, but he'd get his revenge. Shot lifted to center. It's going to be Hagelin diving in to make the snag. He's keeping the Huskies off the base pass. To the third we go. Huskies finding their stride. Bryce Welke smokes a single to left. That's going to help play a pair as PN opens up a 3-0 lead. But in the fourth, KC starting to feel right at home. Mason only ripping it out to the wall. Going to get the Maroon Giants on the board. Giants scored 5 in the last at-bats to take game 1, 7-5. Northern would get the 6-0 dub in game 2 to earn the split. The Rockets in town for a weekend set as the Broncos. They're set to celebrate 50 years for anniversary weekend. The second inning, the Rockets think they're supposed to be celebrating. Samantha Bolden gets a hold of one, takes it for a ride. 2-run shot makes it a 5-1 Toledo lead. Home and half, Westwood right back at it. Caitlin Todd gets this one inside the chalk, brings home Hannah Herman. That's going to cut into their deficit. That, of course, before Jordan Smith, she's going to pull this one, lift this one out into left center. It's bringing home a pair. An RBI single for her makes it a 1-run game. But Western leaving too many runners on the base paths in this one. 11 stranded overall as Toledo comes away with 8-7 win in game 1. As for game 2, Western gets the split on the day. Ava Geiger with a 3-hit shutout, striking out 5. Emily Lampella coming up with a homer, and both runs batted in. Rubber match set for tomorrow at 1. As for Western baseball, out in Ypsilanti to open their weekend set against Eastern, a tough one to begin things. The Eagles coming away with a 4-3 dub. Eastern getting to Zach Brasinga in the sixth, putting up a 3 spot against Western starter. Just 3 punch-outs for him on the day. On the pro circuit, Tigers back on the road, only 2-8 away from home on the year. Dylan Dingler, though, coming up firing from behind the dish, throws out Don Rafael to keep it scoreless. Hey, speaking of scoreless, Dingler looking to break a 0-0 gridlock game in the ninth, but all this chatter, check this out. 101 on the gun, he even gets it to somehow rise through the zone. And we need extras. We're in the 10th inning. Masataka Yoshida coming through for the Sox. Single to right, gonna play the game's only run. Tigers' 6-game winning streak is over. They're now 2-9 on the road for the year. And out of the ice, K-Wings with a weekend for their playoff lives. And they might owe those playoff lives to Jackson Coons. The game-winning goal with 15 seconds left. Also 3 assists for him on the night. Wings down just 1 point behind the Cyclones in the standings. Those two teams back at it tomorrow. Well, we don't want to wait that long, and we surely know that you don't want to wait all that long for a final check of your forecast. Keith Thompson coming back your way. The break. See you, Nick. See you, Keith. See you, Jess. Thank you, everyone on Facebook for allowing me to do that.
What was the question again? I'm sorry. No, 30's okay. I think 30's okay. Okay, everybody, we're back. Back on our live feed here. Again, we have one more news block to go, and then we'll be done here with News Channel 3. But of course, we will be here if anything severe happens overnight. I'm beginning to think that things are going to not be as active, certainly not as active as what we saw Tuesday night. I'm looking over here like that's the camera. This is the camera. You see on the radar here, which I have playing there on the side screen on the left, and that does show the thunderstorms that are coming through. I am keeping an eye out on the latest on the warnings. There are several special marine warnings that the National Weather Service issues for boaters who might be out. Again, not likely that there's a lot of boating traffic out there right now, certainly of the smaller craft variety. But I am looking at those warnings, and whereas earlier I was seeing marine warnings for winds of 49, 50 knots or 60, 70 knots, now I'm seeing mainly about 40 to 45 knots. That's a sign again that things are weakening. Although I will say, one of the marine warnings that I did just pop up is calling for, this is the one that's near Michigan City and then just off of Gary, for winds of perhaps 65 knots. So that might be problematic. And that would be headed toward Berrien County. Again, we'll have to wait and see. Could weaken. And that one also does have a designation that water spouts are possible there. That definitely is something that we'll keep in mind. So that's what we're looking at right now. We've got about a minute until we come back. Then we'll be back on for probably about another minute. And then we'll be done, at least on air. And of course, we will return to the air if any other warnings are issued. And obviously, if a tornado warning comes up, then we will be live on the air continuously. But I don't expect that to happen. I don't think anybody anticipates that to happen. Though, again, just a reminder, no warnings right now in the area as you're looking at the radar there. But we do have that tornado watch for Berrien and Cass County that goes until 3 o'clock in the morning. But most of that watch, by the way, is off to the south in northern Indiana. All right, I'll be right back.
Finally, tonight at 11, California authorities are announcing an update on the suspects involved in what was dubbed Operation Bear Claw. 3 out of the 4 suspects in the Los Angeles area are now convicted in connection to an insurance fraud scheme. This plot was uncovered in 2024. Authorities say the group used a person in a bear costume to stage fake attacks on luxury vehicles. Then the suspects filed fraudulent damage claims, which included home video to sell their story. This was in order to get an insurance check. The victimized insurance companies reported a total loss of nearly $142,000. A pretty good bear suit, Keith.
I guess so. And I would think that that would be some kind of plan that was concocted around a poker table or something like that. And it's like, it didn't work out the way that we thought. Yeah. Tornado watch for Cassenberry and counties. That goes until 3 o'clock in the morning. And then we continue here to watch these storms as they cross the lake. We'll continue to give you coverage and we'll let you know if anything else develops. We're live on Facebook and YouTube.
Thank you so much for joining us. Have a great weekend.
Okay, we are officially done on TV for now anyway. Jessica gets to go home.
I'll say goodbye to everyone.
Oh yeah, come on around.
Grab mine.
There you go. You see the feed is right down there on the.
Wow, look at this. This is a pretty nice setup you got here.
Here we go. I mean, we're first class
Look
here.
at this.
Yeah.
High tech. got
It's,
like
it's on a delay. It's on a bit of a delay.
Oh, yeah,
So
four
you-
computers
there you
going.
go. See, there you go. There you are.
Oh, there we are.
Yeah. Well, we have our array of computers going here. So
Well, you guys are in good hands. Thank you so much for watching. You're the GOAT.
thank you. Really good.
All right, have a good weekend, everybody. See ya.
Thank you very much. She will be sound asleep probably.
Yes.
before,
I am tired.
before I get out of here. So anyway, thanks, Jessica. Appreciate it. And for allowing us also to sort of intrude into the studio during the newscast. Have a good weekend. You said you're not coming out tomorrow?
Well, it's probably going to be cold and rainy, right?
Well, it's going to be cool and rainy. We're talking about Ziegler Run Camp here. Yeah, Kalamazoo Run Camp. Yeah, it's probably going to be raining. So it's not going
where
to
are
be
you
pleasant.
meeting at?
Because we'll be downtown.
That's
And I think what I'm told anyway, for the half marathoners, it's only a 4-mile run tomorrow. But I know that part of my group who are also running in Traverse City, we're going to be running more than that. So,
you can do it.
although if it's raining, I don't know.
That's the worst.
And I will say this, if there's any lightning, which I totally don't anticipate at 7 o'clock, 7:30 in the morning, we would not run at all. But I think, unfortunately,
I just got an alert that a track meet tomorrow was canceled due to the weather.
just the weather.
With
Okay.
Norris Public School.
All right, there you go. Track meet for Loy Norris has been canceled for tomorrow. All right. Okay, everybody, we'll get back to the coverage here. Thanks again, Jessica. Appreciate it. Have a good weekend. Have a good weekend. And hope you get to sleep in.
Yes, yeah.
Now that track meet has been canceled, I would not get up and do anything.
Oh, you know it.
So, yeah, so we're going to continue with our coverage here live on YouTube and on Facebook. So let's get right to it here. I want to remind you, we're going to start from scratch, if you will. Let's look at the silver sides here in Muskegon, where we've been watching some thunderstorms come on shore. And I do want to remind you again, we don't have any warnings right now. And I will say, if these storms continue to weaken as they are right now, a trend that I got to tell you, I certainly hope, and I think that everybody out there who's storm weary would agree, we hope will happen, then we'll be able to shut this thing down a little early. Switch this stuff. Yeah, okay. This is our director, Jim. And he is the one who makes sure that you can see us and hear us and see what we hope to see and hear. So there you go.
Thank you.
So switching out my microphone here, my IFP box too. And this is the box, by the way, that we use to hear on.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. My little earpiece. So I'll be switching over to a new microphone and a new box that is charged, so that if we do have to go on the air here soon, that we'll be good to go. Jim, I'll give you an update here coming up in just a sec.
Yeah.
So that's what we're looking at. And like I was saying earlier, you're looking right now at the radar. I'm sorry, at the silver sides. And you'll see some lightning every now and then showing up there as well. But even here in Muskegon, there is no marine warning for Muskegon County, for example, from these storms. So another sign that things are weakening, which is a good sign. But you can definitely see the lightning that's going on. This is looking to the west, right down the channel there in Muskegon, right out over Lake Michigan. Let's look at the view here from South Haven. It's been a little bit more active in South Haven. There we go. There's been a little bit more of a light show, a little bit more lightning going on. I'm hooking this up to my belt. There we go. I think I'm good to go now. And so these are for some thunderstorms that actually, there are a couple of them now that are right on the lakeshore. Let me get closer to this. Again, no severe weather right now in West Michigan, none at all. Do remind you that we do have now from the Storm Prediction Center, this came out probably now about 45 minutes ago, a tornado watch for Cass and Berrien counties. That's Cass and Berrien counties. You see those counties shaded in yellow there? That goes until 3 o'clock in the morning. But no active warnings right now. So let's get right to the radar. So we do have a thunderstorm cell or two in the South Haven area. Again, non-severe. But this has just popped up here. Let's zoom in a little bit closer. You'll be able to see this. This has just popped up. Wow, look at that. They're so tiny. Right around Lee Township, and looks like, for example, maybe right over I-196 there. So that's where we have just one little tiny cell. Nothing much to it. Now, as we zoom out, you can see where we have this line of thunderstorms. Going to put this into motion. And there you can see those thunderstorms over the lake. And again, to me, all indications are that these are weakening, trend that we hope to continue to see. But in the meantime, we're going to keep an eye on them for just a little bit longer, just to make sure that nothing happens to pop up. Right now, the only thing that we have are marine warnings, and that is, again, out over the lake. There are a few of those. We keep an eye on those because that might give us an indication on what might happen when those storms make their way onto shore. And so right now, only one of those really is cause for concern. And that one expires at midnight. So we'll see what happens with that one. That was issued by the National Weather Service out of northern Indiana, or I'm sorry, out of Chicago. Now that was issued, a long time ago. That was issued an hour and a half ago. And so I don't even know, to be honest with you, if that still is carrying a lot of weight with it. So that certainly is some good news. We'll keep an eye on that. So probably, I would say this, we're going to have this coverage here until midnight or so. I'm going to get a chair. Hold on. Until midnight or so. And then we'll be able to hopefully say goodnight, and to do so also with some confidence that things are actually looking pretty good. I'm going to try to see if I can get how much battery I have left without destroying the feed. Looks like I'm not going to be able to do that. So I'll just have to hope. I know that my phone was charged up, so we'll just have to hope for that. That will continue to be the case. So, hey, let's chat. I might be able to do a little chatting now that things are a little bit more relaxed. Now that I say that, it looks like a new tornado warning issued, not for our area, okay, but for Gary, Indiana, stretching south to around Crown Point. So that would be going right down I-65. You know, that horrible, horrible interchange there with I-65 and I-94, I-80. It's always a mess heading down to Indy. And so there's a tornado warning there now. So, you know, going to be a little bit casual here. Let's see. All right. I'm going to try to catch up on some of the comments. I'm not going to be able to get everybody. I apologize for that. Let's see here. Let me see if I can get some of the comments up. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm able to do this like I can when I'm down in the digital studio. So I'll just have to do whatever I can. And the comments that I'm seeing right now are all from a half an hour ago. So I think it's going to do me any good to read those. So I have to apologize in advance. So let me go over the hour by hour. I'm going to show you what we're expecting here, because if you just happen to join us, we've been on for a while now. You know, I was on from 9 to about 9:45, 9:50. And then took a break from 10 to 10:30. Ended up being 10 to 10:45 for our newscast at 10 o'clock because I forgot to hit the go live now button to put the stream back on the air. Live and learn. And now we're live here covering these storms that are moving across the lake. And so far, like I said, the story on this, I think, is good. And that is, we only have a watch. Hold on, it looks like they might have just issued a severe thunderstorm warning, did they? They did. Now, this is for a small portion of Berrien County here. This is for a small portion of Berrien County. So let me get to the map there, and I think I'll be able to show you what we're looking at. Again, this is just a very small portion of Berrien County. This is largely LaPorte County. and then stretching southward and then also westward to around Valparaiso. So let me get that map up and I'll show you what's going on there. One good thing I feel like anyway about Facebook Live is that it doesn't have the rigidity, if I could say that about television, is that we can freelance a little bit more here. It's almost like we're talking over the kitchen table. All right, so let me slide this to the south and you'll be able to see. There you can see what I'm talking about. All right, this will give you an idea of what I'm talking about. All right, this area in orange is where there's a severe thunderstorm warning. Notice it's just a small sliver of Berrien County is included in that. This is largely for the south side of Chicago, all the way down into Pulaski County and Stark County and LaPorte County. It goes until 11:30, which I think is obviously Central Time. And so that is for radar indicated winds of 60 miles per hour. So again, severe thunderstorm warning, a tiny, tiny portion of Berrien County here. This is largely for Northwest Indiana. And you can see that area of red there on the map. You see that area of red there on the map. That is where we have that tornado warning. But again, that's for Gary. That's for points south there in Northwest Indiana. That is not for us here in West Michigan. Okay, so that certainly is some good news, but something that we're going to keep an eye on with these cells. Now, let me show you the hour by hour. Got to try to find a spot here that's going to be a home for my laptop so that don't knock it off, knock it silly as we move this around just a little bit. All right. Again, apologize for the informality here. All right, let's show you our hour by hour. Let me show you what the projection is for the movement of these storms here. And you'll see what we're looking at here. So this is the current time. This is 11 o'clock. Let me change the start time on this to 12 o'clock. We'll go to 12 o'clock since we are only 17 minutes away now from 12 o'clock. So we'll do that real quick. There we go. Okay, there we go. Now let's see how this is going to shake out. I'm going to play this forward. You'll see it on the left side of the screen there. And you can see these thunderstorms. This is what I'm talking about here at 1 o'clock, coming right on the lakeshore from South Haven south to about Niles. 2 o'clock, pretty much up and down US 131 to the west, continuing to slide off to the east. I think it's going to weaken somewhat. This is 3 o'clock in the morning. But we're going to be hearing these boomers all the way likely until about 6 o'clock or so in the morning. All right. But I think the strongest threat for these storms is going to be back in here around 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. I think that's when we're going to be looking at some of the strongest storms. And then they will all start to move out as we get closer to daybreak on Saturday. So that's what we're looking at there. Continuing to monitor these storms here. Again, just a reminder right now, as we are live in the News Channel 3 studio right now, that we are looking at a tornado watch for a small portion of the mitten, that is just Cass and Berrien counties. So Cass and Berrien counties under a tornado watch that goes until 3 o'clock in the morning. And as I mentioned earlier, there's a small sliver of Berrien County, as I'll show you right here, that is Okay, hopefully that means that I'm back. I think so. We'll find out here. I think so. My phone died. And I'm shooting this. There we go. I'm shooting this off my phone. So I apologize, everybody, for going AWOL on you there as we continue to monitor these storms. Like I said, I apologize. I was wondering why all of a sudden I was seeing the numbers start to drop off, and I was like, what's happening? And then it's like, oh, my phone died. That's no good. So anyway, we're back. So I'm back on. So I apologize and beg your forgiveness there, but we're back on now. All right, nothing's changed. We're continuing to monitor a severe thunderstorm warning that only covers a very tiny sliver of Berrien County. It's primarily for some storms that are marching through LaPorte County and then also through Pulaski County and Stark County. I'm going to show you what it looks like right now. You see the radar right now with these thunderstorms that are getting closer and closer to South Haven. They are moving on shore right now around Holland. Let's take a live look at the way it looks right now in South Haven, looking out over the big lake here. Do want to underscore for those who are joining back in right now, and again, thank you so much for being patient with me on that, that we don't have any active warnings right now for West Michigan. No active warnings right now. We do have a special marine warning that looks like it's going to go until 1 o'clock in the morning. We've got to keep an eye on perhaps a cell that is coming out over the big lake here, which will definitely do that. We'll definitely keep that on our radar here. It doesn't look like, okay. Yeah, I was looking at a different scan. So looks like we'll probably be okay there. But we're going to continue monitoring these storms here as they make their way across Lake Michigan. Hopefully we can get a good sign here coming up soon that they are going to be weakening. For now, the marine warning that is in effect for areas on the lake shore that would be, let's say, approaching Allegan County, Ottawa County, Muskegon County, that's only for 40 knot winds. There is a marine warning that only goes until 12:30. And that is for 50 knot winds. That is for storms coming out of Chicago. I think those are going to continue to weaken as well. The only one really right now that is cause for concern, in my opinion, is the one, and that is actually weakening now too, for 49 knot winds. So I do believe, not going to give the all clear just yet. We're going to go back to reflectivity. You can see it's quite a light show. Looking live right now out over South Haven. Looking live over South Haven. It's quite a light show. Do want to let you know that we do have a tornado watch for Cass and Berrien counties. That goes until 3 o'clock in the morning. I don't know if I can move this. If I can, yeah. You can see that this really substantially covers northern and central Indiana. Berrien and Cass County, just the northern edge of that. Let's take a live look in Muskegon there. This is the Silver Sides where we've seen some rain and also some thunderstorms. Let's go down the lake shore a little bit. I want to show you what it's looking like right now. You're going to have to ignore the banner. Apologies for that. Ignore the banner. But this is the way that it looks right now in Holland as we're looking out over the Tulip City. This is looking to the west. So this would be looking into the thunderstorms here. So it'll take a moment for this to come up. There it is. So we should see some lightning here as well. Obviously, there's rain on the camera lens. And so that's some lightning that's going on there that you can now see in Holland. I'm going to go back to my reflectivity here. Like I said, I do believe that this is the trend is definitely going to be our friend here. Again, ignore the banner. This is not Muskegon. This is Holland. But as we look out to the distance here, we're looking out to the west and we're looking out toward Lake Michigan where these thunderstorms are. And so you might be asking, where are these again? Let's go back to our radar and show you where these are. And there you can see them. And I do, lightning is, not the only way of indicating whether these are strengthening, but these are, I do believe that we're seeing less and less lightning. I do believe that these are weakening here. Although I wouldn't be surprised to see a little bit of hail coming out of them once they do get to the lake shore, especially from Holland south to South Haven, all the way down to about Benton Harbor or so. Right now, no warnings in effect for us here in West Michigan. So that certainly is a good sign. No warnings. And so the only, well, we do have a tiny sliver, like I said, a tiny sliver of Berrien County under a severe thunderstorm warning. Let me see how long that goes. I'll get the latest information on that. That goes until 12:30. And that is for radar indicated winds of 60 miles per hour. This covers very small part of Berrien County and Michigan. There's a Cass County in Indiana, LaPorte County in Indiana, covered by that as well. But again, that I don't think is going to be an issue for us. The area of thunderstorms that right now, well, in fact, it looks like now things are really starting to be trimmed quite a bit. There is a severe thunderstorm warning with this second line. I'm going to move this down just a little bit, but again, this is in northern Indiana. What you see there, that's stretching southward almost to Lafayette, down I-65 here. And it looks like that tornado warning that had been in effect, yes, for LaPorte County, for the Gary area, has either expired or been canceled. It no longer is in effect. So that's good news as well. So we're going to watch this just for a little bit longer. I do believe that right now what we're going to be looking at here is just some thunderstorms that are going to be moving through pretty rapidly. Let's go back to the hour by hour, and I'll show you what we're going to be seeing there. Got some good lightning coming down there in South Haven, so I'll take a quick gander at that camera, and you can see some of those thunderstorms that are still probably a little bit away from you there in South Haven. Maybe 20, 30 miles off the lakeshore, but they will eventually be visiting you. The good news is they do appear to be weakening, a trend that I think is going to continue. And I will say this, that is what was suggested by the models, the forecast models as well. In fact, in my opinion, they're holding together a little bit better. Oh, we have a severe thunderstorm warning that was just issued. There we go. For Allegan County and also for Van Buren County. So we're probably going to pop on the air for that so that we can have that on the air. So let me move this out of the way. Like I said, here on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, we are rather informal. So here's what we're looking at. There we go. Okay. So Jim, I don't know if you can hear me in there. Yes. Yeah. Hello, Linda. 1 2 3 4 5 5 4 3 2 1. All right, all right. Give me probably 60 seconds. All right, hello everybody. I'm back. We're going to be doing a live cut in here on our news on News Channel 3 to let everybody know about a severe thunderstorm warning that has just been issued by the National Weather Service. So we're going to pop that up real quick. Hold on just a moment. Okay, Jim, I'll be ready like in 30 seconds if you're ready to go. What do we got? I can actually go. Yeah, you tell me when I'm ready to go. I'm ready. Okay. Okay. All right.
Start off with the channel 3, what we're looking at. Severe storm.
Hello, everyone. News Channel 3 Chief Meteorologist Keith Thompson here with a live weather update for you. Severe thunderstorm warning issued by the National Weather Service for Allegan and Van Buren County. Allegan and Van Buren County, and this goes until 1:30. Radar indicated winds of 60 miles per hour. And this, by the way, is for thunderstorms that are out over the big lake right now. In fact, we can see the lightning as we look live here from South Haven. Thanks to the city of South Haven for the view. You'll see the lightning light up the sky here from time to time as we're looking out to the west here out over the lake. Here's the latest with the radar to show you what we're looking at. You'll see these thunderstorms that are still a bit off the lake shore here, but this is why the National Weather Service is already issuing this warning here. And again, this is for Allegan and Van Buren counties. The wording from the National Weather Service here for Van Buren and Allegan counties until 1:30. Severe thunderstorms located along a line from 26 miles northwest of Van Buren County. This is out over the lake to 12 miles west of St. Joe, moving to the northeast at about 60. And so the hazard here is for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Again, this is radar indicated. I'm going to put this into motion real quick, and you can see what we have here with these thunderstorms that are moving across the lake. So again, severe thunderstorm warning, and that is for Allegan and also for Van Buren County. Here's the latest again with that information. I'm going to move this box out just a little bit to give you an idea here. This is for radar indicated winds of up to 60 miles per hour. And by the way, just another reminder as well, we have two counties, Cass and Berrien counties, that are under a tornado watch. That goes until 3 o'clock Saturday morning. We'll continue to keep an eye on the storms, and we'll let you know if anything changes. For now, back to CBS. Okay, thank you. All right, everybody. Well, that was a live severe storm cut in for News Channel 3. So now we're back to our coverage here. And again, I think what's going on here from the National Weather Service is they're trying to get out ahead of this line of thunderstorms. This warning, typically a severe thunderstorm warning is for, I'd say, probably about 45 minutes in duration. I'm going to turn this microphone off, Jim, by the way, for about 45 minutes in duration. In this particular case, though, this goes until, I believe it's 1:30. Yeah, until 1:30. And so you would be right to ask the question, why is it such a long severe thunderstorm warning? I think the reason for that is because this is for these storms that are still out over the lake. Let me show you what we're talking about here. You'll see them. I just showed them on air, but I'll show them to you here too. And you'll see them. This is what we're talking about. This big line of storms here, as I put this into motion, you'll see that the movement of the individual cells are to the north, is to the northeast, but the line itself is moving eastward. And so this is still a little ways out. In fact, let me put a little tracker on it here to see exactly how far this line is, let's say, from, say, South Haven. That would be 12:52 before it arrives. So that's still 40 minutes. Also, let me get into this tracker and sort of get an idea here of, let me see if I can change the property on that. So it's just miles, because that's all I really want to see is how many miles is that. So we can get rid of the ETA and we'll just go with the distance here. And then we'll erase that we got. Then we'll go back to our tracker and then let's see what we got here. So these are about 25 miles off the lakeshore here, off the shore. That's why, by the way, you can get such a good view of them when you look at them here from the South Haven camera. You can see the lightning so vividly. That's only about 25, 30 miles out there. These are some pretty hefty thunderstorms. But also that's why this warning is going for a bit longer than you might see for most of the other warnings. And that is because it's still a little ways away. So it's not like very close by. Typically with severe thunderstorms, as you watch, you can still see the lightning there light up the sky. Typically, these are moving fast and moving close to the shore. And by the time The National Weather Service issues the warning. It's imminent in a pretty short amount of time. That's not the case with these. Sorry about that. I'm sort of taking off my earpiece and my microphone. Maybe that will signal to the weather gods that we don't need any more of this. So we'll see. So anyway, we'll get back to our coverage here. Again, we're live on YouTube, live on Facebook, on the News Channel 3 YouTube page, on the News Channel 3 Facebook page, as well as on WWMT Keith Thompson Facebook page and the @Weatherman Keith YouTube page as well. So that's what we're looking at now. Thanks to those of you who hung in with me there. My phone died. And so that's why I had to leave for about 20 minutes. It took me probably 10 minutes to figure out that nobody was with me anymore because the phone had died. I can't see that part of the phone to know that it died. And then it took me another 10 minutes to hook up some electrical power so that I could get the thing charging back up. But I think we're in good shape now. So thanks everybody for being here with me still. I can't see the comments. You know how it kills me. I love doing the comments, so I can't see them. So again, we're looking live right now out over South Haven into those thunderstorms that are out there right now. Just a reminder of what we have working, and that is a severe thunderstorm warning. By the way, I'm going to go take a gander here real quick to make sure that that is on our air. I'll leave that warning map up. I'll be right back. Give me about 10 seconds here, maybe 20. Okay, here we go. Made sure that the warning is up on our air. And so here we go. There's the warning. Goes until 1:30. Again, Van Buren, Allegan County included in that. For radar indicated winds of 60 miles per hour. We're going to keep an eye on those storms. Again, I will tell you this. I don't expect that anything out of this line will become tornadic. I don't think that that's going to be an issue. So we'll definitely keep an eye on that aspect. In the meantime, let me show you what we have as far as our tornado watch. There you can see that map that I just popped up for you as well. Berrien and Cass County, the only two counties in West Michigan that are under that watch. And that goes until 3 o'clock in the morning. As I showed you a little bit earlier, if you were watching me, that really is substantially for northern and central Indiana. Berrien and Cass County are just right on the northern edge of it there. So, yeah, so that's what we're looking at here. So let's get back to the radar to show you what we're looking at. If you're looking from South Haven, of course, you're seeing the light show. Here's that. I'll show you that just real quick. This is a live view from the city of South Haven, looking over the big lake there, looking over, of course, the pier. And in fact, I think I can get a better view of this. You're going to have to ignore the banner. I apologize because I used this a little bit earlier to show Muskegon, which was all lit up. But what I'm going to show now is South Haven. But this is going to be from our camera that we have, which is right there at River Street, where it goes down to the pier. So let me pop that up and we'll take a look at that. I think you get a better view of the light show from the lightning from this camera position here. So let's see. That should pop that up. There you go. Like I said, please ignore the banner. I'll see what I can do. I can get rid of that banner real quick. There we go. No more banner. Banner be gone. So there we go. This is a live look right now. This is looking right down the channel. And so because this is a bit of a wider view, you're going to see a little bit better here some of that lightning, the light show that's going on. Or at least that's the plan anyway. So yeah, so there we go. Let's get to the radar, show you what's going on. Just a reminder, we do have one active thunderstorm, severe thunderstorm warning that covers 2 counties. That is Allegan and Van Buren counties. That goes until 1:30 in the morning. That's for these thunderstorms that are still off the lakeshore quite a bit. That's what we're looking at there with that picture. And here it is on the radar. Radar indicated winds of 60, according to the National Weather Service. I do believe this has shown some signs of weakening. But for now, anyway, this is our velocity product, we call it. So let me move this around just a little bit and we'll see if we can find where there might be some of those stronger winds. This area right here, I'm going to circle this where you see this sort of bluish area right here. This is where there's some stronger winds. So I'm going to do what we call query this area just to see if we can find out what some of those stronger winds might be. Well, a lot of lightning going on right now in South Haven. Okay, that's what we're talking about. You can see velocity here is talking about winds of about 60 plus miles per hour. So that would tell you why the National Weather Service is going with this thunderstorm warning. Now, as the warning from the National Weather Service indicated there, they are saying the movement of this is to the northeast, right? I believe that's right. Yeah, to the northeast at 60 miles per hour. So that being said, what we say? It's about 20, 30 miles, excuse me, off the lakeshore. So it would be getting there within 20 to 30 minutes. So that would put it on the lakeshore from about 12:45 to about 1 o'clock. So that's something to keep in mind there. So that's what we're looking at. You can see that I've circled and highlighted there. We'll erase all of that and then get back to our reflectivity. I do want to get back to that South Haven camera just to show you what it's looking like, because sometimes it really flares up with some vivid lightning. So let's see if we can pop that up. You'll see that on the left side of the screen there. And of course, when I pop that up, it probably means that it's not going to lightning though. I'm pretty sure that we'll see some if we just sort of stick with this picture here a little bit. You can see in the distance there on the left side, that string of white, that's the lights there on the pier, going all the way up to the lighthouse. Every now and then you'll see a car go down there. I think there are some folks out there trying to catch the storms coming in. Beautiful display if you are not mortified of lightning and thunder. You probably won't catch me out there doing that. But that's what we're looking at. So again, let me get back to the warning. There you go. Now you can see, I think you can see a little bit of that lightning. It looks like it's a little more vivid on the South Haven camera. So, oh, there it is. Okay, so we're seeing a little of those flashes right now. Here's the latest with the severe thunderstorm warning. And again, this is from the National Weather Service here. Let me back this out just a little bit. It'll pop in that box. Allegan and Van Buren County. And again, this is radar indicated winds in excess of 60, as I just showed you. This should be on the lakeshore coming up here by 12:45, I think at the latest. Probably closer to, well, between 12, yeah, I'd say about 12:40, 12:45, in about 20 minutes should be coming on the lakeshore. And so I'm going to continue to track that as well to get an idea if it is weakening. Right now, as I showed you just a moment ago, our radar is indicating, or our radar package is indicating that there could be winds of up to 60, maybe even 60 plus. And that's why the National Weather Service has issued this warning. I cannot read the comments. I apologize, like I normally can. I don't have the setup like I do when I'm in the digital studio. We're out here live in the studio right now so that we could also do live coverage on News Channel 3 and try to keep it as seamless as possible. Of course, that means the phone doesn't die, right? Okay, so that's what we're looking at. That's the current warnings. I do want to also let you know that Berrien and Cass counties are under a tornado watch until 3 o'clock in the morning. Tornado watch means that thunderstorms that do occur do have the potential of being strong enough and have the properties to produce a tornado. I do think that that threat is mainly to the south in northern Indiana. In fact, now that I say that, I see where there is now a new tornado warning. This is for LaPorte County. So this is not in West Michigan. We're certainly going to keep an eye on this because it is just over the border there. Let me read to you what we have here. National Weather Service, Northern Indiana, tornado warning for central LaPorte County. This is in northwestern Indiana. This goes until 11:45 Central, which is 12:45 our time, which is 21 minutes from now. This is located near Kingsford Heights, 7 miles east of Westville, moving to the northeast at 45. It's radar indicated. So we'll keep an eye on that. That's going to be headed towards South Bend. So we'll certainly keep an eye on that for you there in Berrien and Cass counties. Berrien and Cass counties. In the meantime, here's a view again, looking down over the big lake. Let me see if I've got another view of it. Here you go. This is the South Haven camera provided by the city of South Haven, looking out over the pier. You'll see some lightning here as well. Let's get to the radar, show you what's going on here with our radar. There you can see the thunderstorms that are moving across the lake. I will say even earlier in the evening, as our forecast model was sort of showing, that it would be the southern edge of this line that might be problematic for us. And that is what is going on. And in fact, really, if you work your way even more south, I think it's even more problematic as you get down, say, toward Lafayette, Indiana there. But we do have a severe thunderstorm warning. Severe thunderstorm warning that is for Van Buren and Allegan counties. Van Buren and Allegan counties. Zoom in a little bit close. It's not necessarily for these storms that are just starting to brew right ahead of this. You've got, remember, with these thunderstorms, you've got a tremendous amount of wind that's being pushed out ahead of these. And it looks like as some of that wind is encountering the atmosphere over land there, we're starting to see a few of these thunderstorms starting to pop up in advance of it. But this warning really is for these thunderstorms that are now making their way closer to Allegan and Van Buren County. I'm going to show you. We're talking about this cluster right here. And now the line itself is moving off to the east, but the individual cells are moving to the northeast. Seen a lot of lightning there on that South Haven camera. So let's look beachside here, courtesy of the city of South Haven, and show you what's going on here. And you'll be able to see, I think, there you go, see some of the light show that's going on with the lightning. Of course, if you're in South Haven, you don't need me to tell you that. You can already see all of that lightning that's going on. In fact, there are several cars there that I can see on the bottom of the screen that are parked, that are looking out over the lake. And I do see, surely that is not a boat. There is some light of some kind that is out there down the pier. I don't know. We'll see when it gets a little bit closer. I guess that probably is a little boat. And I would not be out there in that, that's for sure. Not with those thunderstorms that are in the vicinity. But hey, we'll keep an eye on it. We'll just keep watching and see as it moves down the lakeshore. I would say this, with that lightning in my rearview mirror, I don't know if I had like a 30 or 40 horsepower engine, I would be using all 30 or 40 horsepower, that's for sure, to get back down the channel. So that's what we're looking at. As you can see, thunderstorms in the distance. And we do have a severe thunderstorm warning for Van Buren and for Allegan counties associated with these thunderstorms that are about to move onshore. I'm going to keep watching. I can't read your comments. I apologize. It's driving me crazy, but I can't see the comments, so I apologize for that. But we're going to continue watching here. I just want to see what kind of craft we are looking at that's coming there down the pier. You can see the light that's on there. I don't think that's somebody walking. I think that that's a boat out there. No, maybe it's somebody walking down the pier. Keep an eye on it. We'll see. In the meantime, that severe thunderstorm warning going until 1:30 in the morning. 1:30 in the morning. I'm going to break away from our peer view here. I'll get back to it. Believe me, I'll get back to it. But just to remind folks who are just coming in here, here's the latest on that. Allegan, Van Buren County, now all of Berrien County and westernmost Cass County has now been added to a severe thunderstorm warning as well. So that is new as well. So that's all of Berrien County and now part of Cass County is included in that warning as well. Let's get back to our pier cam, see what's going on there. Just see what's going on. I can't tell. It looks like maybe, is that a small boat? I believe it is. Can't really tell. I think so, though. I don't think that's somebody who's walking because they would have to be running there. So it looks like there's a little boat that's coming down the channel. So that's interesting. An interesting view there with severe thunderstorms in your rearview mirror there. Let's see. Well, we'll find out here if it turns in on the beach. Oh, maybe it is somebody who's walking. Oh, it is. Okay. I got to tell you, I would not be on that pier. I would be running. So, okay. There you go. Let me just say that whenever there's lightning nearby, that's not a good place to be. All right. So we'll move on here and get to the storm coverage here. We do now have an additional severe thunderstorm warning. And this is now for Berrien County and a small sliver of Cass County. And then that stretches also down into northwest Indiana, including, by the way, South Bend, including South Bend. This is radar indicated 60-mile-per-hour winds. Now, I will say this one does have a tornado possible tag on it, and that's because of that tornado warning that right now is in northwest Indiana. Northwest Indiana. And we're definitely going to keep an eye on that. Definitely going to keep an eye on that. So let me get to the reflectivity here and show you what we're looking at. And you can see what we have here. I'm going to get a little bit closer. It is this particular cell right here. I'm trying to get in a little bit closer to see myself where this is. This is going to be just to the southeast of LaPorte. So just to the southeast of LaPorte. We'll zoom in a little bit closer. See if we can see what's going on with this little notch here. See if we can find where there might be a little bit of a concern here. So this is our velocity product again that we're looking at. Going to stretch this off to the south just a little bit and see if we can get a little bit closer to see what we're looking at here as well. Yeah, okay. So just to the west of Kankakee, I think we might be seeing something here. Let me zoom in a little bit closer. There we go. And so that's what we're keeping an eye on. Maybe just also perhaps, I'll slide this around just a little bit. I'm going to try to speak up so that you can hear me. Yeah, I think it's right around Kankakee here where we could see a little of that rotation. So that is, again, something that we'll keep in mind here. Let me change my radar here to make sure that I am on the radar that I want to be on here. Yeah, yes, we are. Yes, we are, as a matter of fact. So this is the correct one. So again, severe thunderstorm warning now for Van Buren County, for Allegan County. That goes until 1:30. And then we have also a severe thunderstorm warning for Berrien and western Cass County. That too, I believe, goes until 1:30. That too goes until 1:30. And both of those are for radar indicated winds of 60. But one major difference is that severe thunderstorm warning that is for Berrien, a small part of Cass County, but also into northwest Indiana, including South Bend. That's also for a potential there for a tornado, potential for a tornado. All right, so let me get rid of this screen here. We'll get back to our regular reflectivity to show you what's going on there. There we go. I'll zoom out just a little bit. And here's what we're looking at. These storms are now very close to the lakeshore here, very close to the lakeshore. We'll put this into motion and you'll see the movement here. Like I said, the individual cells are moving to the northeast. The line itself is pushing off to the east northeast. I'm sorry, the individual cells are moving northeast and the line itself is moving to the east northeast. And so that's what we're looking at as far as this goes. So severe thunderstorm warning again for Allegan and Van Buren counties until 1:30. And then also a severe thunderstorm warning until 1:30 for Berrien and western Cass County. I am definitely keeping an eye on that tornado warning that is now in northwest Indiana. So northwest Indiana, I would be more concerned if I was in South Bend with that. But we are definitely going to keep an eye on it here to see what happens as it gets a little bit closer. A little bit closer. I'm going to put our velocity product on it here on my iPad to see what we've got going on. See if we can see where they're looking at. And I do believe that we can definitely see, yeah, can see that it is right now likely to the north of Kankakee, and then also there could be a couple of areas there of concern. Also near Stillwell. Again, that's in northwest Indiana. So that's what we're looking at there. You can see the lightning still vivid as we're looking right now down the pier in South Haven. Those thunderstorms are just about to move onto the lakeshore. That's why we're here right now. We have a severe thunderstorm warning. This is for Van Buren and Allegan counties. This goes until 1:30. This is for radar indicated winds of 60 miles per hour. You see both counties are illuminated there. And then we also have a severe thunderstorm warning until 1:30 for Berrien and the western third, let's say, of Cass County. We also have a tornado watch until 3 in the morning for Berrien and Cass counties here. This is largely for northern Indiana, but I got to tell you, the state line is too close. So this tornado warning, let me go south just a little bit to show you the tornado warning. I'll move this to the south just a little bit to show you what we're looking at as far as the tornado warning is concerned. There you go. It's this red box here. And the motion on this, you can see where it is. The motion on this, it only has 9 minutes to go. So it'll be interesting to see what's going to happen with this. It's in effect for 9 more minutes. It is moving northeast at 50. So it would be moving in the direction of South Bend. But it still has a little ways to go. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. Because, of course, if it continues, I'm talking on camera, if it continues moving in that direction, then we'll have to keep an eye on it for our friends, not only in South Bend, but then, of course, moving into Michigan in southern Berrien County and also southwestern Cass County. So far, that has not, of course, been the threat, but something that we're going to keep an eye on with that severe thunderstorm warning. Let's get back to the lightning show that's going on right now. It is almost constant in South Haven. Here's the view in South Haven. There it is. Wow. And that really does illuminate the lighthouses and the piers. As you can see there, it is definitely plenty of light going on with these thunderstorms that are now making their way onto the lakeshore. Plenty of lightning, but remember, lightning does not a severe thunderstorm warning make, although, of course, it is a very dangerous element, not to be toyed with for sure. Let's get to the radar, show you what's going on with the radar. Here it is. There could be some hail here. Wouldn't be surprised at all to see some hail. In fact, we'll put our hail product to work, sort of get an idea. If there is some hail here, we're going to lose our lightning and lose our radar just for a moment on this, just so we can see if we've got a spot where there might be some hail coming in. I'm not showing it very much right now. I'm not showing it very much. Let's see. It is showing, though, a few of these stripes. They're coming across the lake. So some of these thunderstorms, I do think, have had some hail with them. So I wouldn't be surprised to see some hail. However, I will say that the warning here is primarily for winds of 60 miles per hour or greater as these thunderstorms come ashore. We'll get back to the South Haven camera where the light show is going on with all of this lightning. We are live on YouTube. We are live on our Facebook page. We're also live on WWMT's Keith Thompson's Facebook page. That's me. And then also at Weatherman Keith, the YouTube page there as well. So you can watch it on any of those 4 viewing opportunities that we have for you here. All right, looking live at South Haven. Going to wait and see if we get another update coming in with regard to the storms. Going to switch my radar out here just to get a better view. When I'm looking at the storms closer to the Michigan-Indiana line, I'm using the radar that's coming out of North Webster, Indiana. But when we're looking at what's coming on shore here in South Haven, I'm using the Grand Rapids radar, and I can definitely see where there's some very strong winds associated with that area that's out over the lake. So let me show you what we're looking at here. We can also do that with our radar here on air. And so let me show you. Let's get in here. We'll try to scope and see what we can see about these winds that are right now just off the lakeshore as far as our velocity is concerned. And where do you see some of that bluer area here? I'm going to zoom in a little bit more. And where you see some of this blue is where we're a little more concerned here. So for example, we'll see what the winds are like here northwest of South Haven. We're talking about winds again, 60 plus, and that I'm telling you, it's that area is why we're seeing this severe thunderstorm warning that still has about another 50 minutes left to it. So it still has about another 50 minutes left to it as these storms come ashore. Again, so we're live here on Facebook, we're live on YouTube. If any other warnings are issued associated with these storms, of course, we'll be live on the air as well. We did hop in live on News Channel 3 to let folks know about the Allegan and Van Buren County severe thunderstorm warnings. I'm also, of course, keeping an eye on the tornado warning right now that is southwest of South Bend. Why? Because it is moving to the northeast at a pretty good clip. And so we're going to keep an eye on that as well, just in case that happens to make more of a move toward the Michigan-Indiana state line. But the latest on that right now is that it will expire in 4 minutes. So at 12:45, we'll see what's going to happen with this warning in Northwest Indiana. Like I said, I'm keeping a close eye on that because if it continues to move to the Northeast, of course, obviously it's going to go through South Bend. But before it gets to South Bend, or after it gets to South Bend, then it will be moving closer to our state. But I think this might get extended, but it looks like, if anything, this might still be moving a little bit more to the south side of South Bend. But this is going to expire in 3 minutes. So we'll see what the National Weather Service does with this. In the meantime, we do continue. We'll put this into motion. We continue with these thunderstorms that are now coming on the lakeshore from Muskegon south to Holland, south to South Haven, and also Benton Harbor. We have a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings with these. I'm going to go back to the light show that's going on right now in South Haven. This is the view. It is almost constant right now with the lightning there with these thunderstorms. And so no doubt, if you are in South Haven right now, you are hearing the crash of thunder. You're seeing the lightning. I'm sure you can probably even see it from Kalamazoo, from Allegan. If you're looking to the west, you should be able to see that. Sorry to leave the camera here just for a little bit, but just trying to get an update on the storms themselves and what we're looking at as far as whenever these make their way onto the lakeshore. There you see the lightning once again in South Haven. I want to scope out the wind with these storms that are now making their way onto the lakeshore. Looking also at the camera that is provided there by the city of South Haven. It's giving us great lightning shots. Let me see if I can query this to see what kind of velocity we're looking at with these winds that are now coming onto the lakeshore, let's say right around Van Buren State Park. So it looks like headed to Lawrence. There could be some hefty winds here. And slide this over just a little bit. Put it more, there we go. Now see if I can move our velocity thing. There we go, a little bit more. So I think what we're looking at is some strong winds here out over the lake, first of all, but also moving onshore just a little bit. So there could be some very strong winds right now headed, let's say down I-94. It could be some 50 to 60 mile per hour winds. And then also as we move still with some of these storms off the lakeshore here, let's see what we have. Oh, I lost my velocity product there. We'll try to get it back. Here we go. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's as strong right now out over the lake, but let's see here. So might be looking at winds here. Yeah, still between 55 and 60. So there's some hefty wind coming in with these thunderstorms. So that's something to keep in mind. Hmm. Okay, well, that tornado warning has now been extended, and it now covers a small portion of southeast Berrien County and southwest Cass County. Southeast Berrien County and southwest Cass County. So let me get out wide here just a little bit. And let me go to this warning. We'll put this warning up. So if you are in southeast Berrien County, if you are in southwest Cass County, you should be taking cover. You should be taking cover right now. There it is. I'm going to scooch down here. It's this one right here. This area in red. Right here. There it is. Tornado warning for Berrien, Cass, Elkhart, and St. Joe counties. This is radar indicated. This will go for 30 minutes. So this has 30 minutes. So if you will, just give me a moment here. I'm going to step away just for a moment. And then I will be right back. We're going to see if I'll be right back. Well, it won't be for. Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, the button. Yeah. Oh, yeah, the button. We just probably only the south bend. Right here, the projection is really. Only passing there.
don't want to happen to it. It's still until 1:15. Yeah, no, I don't know if you ever wants to be the, now. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Obviously, they, hopefully not for another hour. You know, if it moves to the northeast, covered from Cass County, and so, but maybe can figure out how it is. Well, right now, it's still southwest of South. So yeah, it's moving northeast. All right. Now I know, but this is just like a gift on the website. It's not gonna be radio where you know that people watch, but you have it in the station, you know. Yeah, well, they're not going to, you know, Blue's probably not gonna have it. GR. So I'll wait then to see what they do with it. They have 25 minutes to decide to extend it. And if they extend it, it pushes it back much more than it has. Okay. Okay, everybody, sorry about that. I'm back. We are keeping an eye on this tornado warning that is now for southeast Berrien County and southwest Cass County, southeast Berrien County, and southwest Cass County. I apologize for not being able to see your comments here. We continue with that severe thunderstorm warning for Allegan and also Van Buren County. I'm going to slide this up to the north just a little bit. That goes until 1:30. So we're going to keep an eye on this cell that is now prompting this tornado warning for the South Bend area. So folks in South Bend, no doubt, our sister station down there is a CBS station, WSBT. No doubt they are covering this as well. It looks like some strong winds right now starting to come into the South Haven area. Let's put that picture back up. And again, by the way, if you happen to be on this stream and you're in southeast Berrien County or southwest Cass County, then you should be taking cover because there is a tornado warning in that area. Again, our sister station there in South Bend is covering that. That goes, by the way, until 1:15 in the morning. So that has 23 minutes left. This is all southwest right now of South Bend, but it's moving to the northeast at 55 miles per hour. This is the light show that we're watching right now that is coming in over South Haven, where we also have a severe thunderstorm. So let me move out just a little bit and show you the radar that we have here as we continue to track these thunderstorms. Tremendous light show going on right now in South Haven. Here are these storms right here coming in. Now, the tornado warned cell is right here. So let's see if we can pick it out as we scope this area here. And it does look like, well, this would be moving, I think, just to the south of South Bend, just to the south of South Bend here. So I'll keep an eye on that. But again, that is to the south right now of South Bend, but we will continue to watch that. We are also concerned about severe thunderstorm warning right now for, let me get back to here. Let me move this map. There we go. For South Haven,
right on up to near Holland for these thunderstorms that are coming on shore right now. Some strong winds here. Let's scope these winds here, see what we've got going on. By the way, I'm going to keep an eye on that tornado warning. And if it does progress, if it continues to move like it's heading towards St. Joe County, for example, then we'll certainly be on live on our air for that. But we're watching it here on YouTube and on Facebook Live. Let me show you what we're looking at here as far as wind gusts that the radar is projecting here. This is some pretty strong wind too. That is now moving out of South Haven and headed right down the Van Buren Allegan County line. This area right here. So let's see what we've got as far as wind speeds, wind gusts go. We're talking about winds that could be in the neighborhood of 40 to 50 miles per hour. So 40 to 50 miles per hour. So also some heavy rain could be coming down here as well. Let's see what our precip looks like. About an inch an hour. But it's more the wind that we're concerned with here with these thunderstorms as they continue to move in. I'm going to slide out just a bit. I'm going to put this into motion. Also, I want to take another look at what's going on here with the lightning situation in South Haven. Looks like some heavy rain. Looks like the wind is also blowing some of that water up onto the beach. There you see this line of thunderstorms. Pretty tremendous, pretty strong. But I think the strongest of the storms right now are, let's say, Allegan, Van Buren County South. So Allegan, Van Buren County South, I think, is where we're seeing some of the strongest of the wind right now. And again, just a reminder, let me show you what we've got for our warnings here. While I prepare that, go back and take another look at the South Haven camera here to show you some of the lightning that's going on. A lot of lightning right now around Holland as well. Saugatuck seeing some of this lightning. But this is the live view right now with the South Beach live camera, courtesy of the city of South Haven. So this is what we're looking at here. So here's the latest on the warnings. I want to first of all get to the severe thunderstorm warning for Van Buren and Allegan County. That's what we're looking at here. That goes until 1:30 in the morning. This is radar indicated, 60 mile per hour gusts possible. And then also severe thunderstorm warning for Berrien and Western Cass County, but of real importance right now, of course, is this tornado warning that does cover a portion of southeast Berrien, southwest Cass. Edwardsburg, you're in that. Southwest Cass, southeast Berrien. But this is predominantly right now in Elkhart and St. Joe County, Indiana. Not St. Joe County, Michigan, by the way. St. Joe County, Indiana, which is South Bend. So we're going to keep an eye on that because that warning goes until 1:15. So that has about 19 minutes to go. And then we're going to see what the National Weather Service is deciding to do with that, if they're going to be extending it out a little bit, or if they're going to leave it in that area. We are keeping a close watch on it because, of course, if it continues to move to the northeast, toward Dowagiac, toward Cassopolis, it will also be moving closer to our viewing area, which is Van Buren County, Kalamazoo County, and also St. Joe County. So we've got an eye on that to keep you up to speed on that. And of course, if that were to happen, we're going to be going on the air as well. Right now, we're on our Facebook Live channel, on the News Channel 3 Facebook channel, on WWMT's Keith Thompson, also on the News Channel 3 YouTube channel, as well as at Weatherman Keith, at Weatherman Keith. So that's what we're looking at for here. So that's the latest, the severe thunderstorm warning until 1:30 in the morning, 23 minutes to go for Berrien and a small sliver of Cass County. Tornado warning for southeast Berrien, southwest Cass County. We're talking about Edwardsburg, around Niles. Niles, you're in it. Edwardsburg, you're in it. And then that is primarily, though, south into South Bend. And when you see those counties on the map there, you see those counties on the map, Berrien, Cass, Elkhart, and you see St. Joe. And if you're in St. Joe County, Michigan, that's not you. Okay, that's not Three Rivers. It's not Sturgis. It's not Centerville. It's not Constantine. St. Joe County, Indiana is South Bend. And so this is primarily for the South Bend area. So we'll keep an eye on that. Our sister station, which is WSBT in South Bend, is covering that part for the folks in their viewing area, which is Berrien and Cass County. So that's what we're watching at there. I wish I could see the comments, but I cannot see the comments on our feed here. So I apologize for that. Cannot see the comments on our feed. So this is what we're looking at. Let's go back to our reflectivity to show you what the radar looks like. As we put this into motion, you'll see the movement here. While you're looking at that, I'm going to go ahead and mic up again, because if this continues to move to the northeast, then we're going to be going on air on television, and we'll have to see. Right now, I got to tell you, I don't like what it looks like. So we'll see. Let me see. Let me go to our. Oh yeah, do not like what I see there around Niles. So we'll see how this looks as it continues to move to the northeast. I would say this: if you happen to be on my feed here and you're in Niles, if you're around Bertrand, I think you should be taking cover. I definitely think you should be taking cover. And if you are moving to the northeast there, maybe even around Pokagon, I think you should be as well. Cassopolis, you need to be on guard. We're probably going to be going on the air here maybe soon with an idea of what we're going to be looking at here with these, the potential here for this tornado warning, which right now is in southeastern Berrien County, southwestern Cass County. That's what we're looking at. So you're looking at radar here as we have it into motion. We do continue with that severe thunderstorm warning. Let me see, first of all, if I don't think I've had any senior reports yet of severe weather coming in on that. But we'll see. Hold on just a moment. So let's see here. See if there's any change to the warning here. I don't think there is. Let's see here. Okay, so yeah, so that's what we're looking at here as far as the radar is concerned. So I think I'm going to have to pop out real quick. So hang with me here just for a moment. And I'm going to continue our coverage here. Yeah, so there you can see the radar behind me there. As we continue to watch these thunderstorms, they're pretty potent coming through right now through Van Buren County in particular. And then also, let me see what we've got going here into Allegan County, just to update you on that. Concerned about the tornado warning that is coming out of, that is coming out of Indiana and moving into portions of Berrien and Cass County. So we're going to keep an eye on that. I'm keeping an eye on that right now. Like I said, I know a lot of folks may not know this, but when you're talking about Berrien and Cass County, they are actually covered by or in the South Bend television market. We do have a sister station there. Like I said, it's a CBS affiliate there. Oh, hold on here. I'm running into a problem here with this. There we go. And so that station there, I lost my feed here just for a moment. It'll come back up here in just a sec. So our sister station in South Bend is live covering and live streaming right now coverage of that tornado warning that primarily right now is in St. Joe County, Indiana. St. Joe County, Indiana, which is South Bend. But as it does move up into southeastern Berrien and southwestern Cass counties there, that also does extend into their area. If it moves a little further north and starts to get closer to Van Buren County or a little further east, and it's going to be getting closer then to St. Joe County, our St. Joe County, not St. Joe, Indiana, which is South Bend, but St. Joe County, Michigan, which is Three Rivers, Sturgis, Centerville. Then, of course, we will be live on the air. Right now, we are only live on our Facebook and YouTube streams. So that's what we're looking at here. So I'm going to get the radar powered back up right now. I do want you to know that we continue with our severe thunderstorm warning for Van Buren County and also for Allegan County. For Van Buren and Allegan County, severe thunderstorm warning for radar indicated winds of 60 miles per hour. It's quite a light show right now coming in off of South Haven, so that would be moving in as well. Grand Junction. I wish I could see my comments. I know I'm hearing from Grand Junction and from Bloomingdale, from Hartford and from Lawrence and from Lawton, and I wish I could read those comments, but I can't. So I appreciate anything that you're able to provide to show what's going on. It's a pretty strong gust front, I think, that's coming in with this line of thunderstorms. So there's going to be a bit of a punch of strong wind here. Okay, my system is back up, so let me see if I can pop this up. Should be able to show this here on the left screen, whereas right now it is dark, so that should be coming up. All right, there we go. So Allegan County, Van Buren County, you see this shaded in orange. That is where we have a severe thunderstorm warning. Notice that has now been changed. All right, they have shaved off. They've shaved just now the western portion of the severe thunderstorm warning. So South Haven, you are no longer in it. I'd say Bangor, you're probably out of it now. But it does still go until 1:30 for that line as it continues to move off to the east. So that is new. That is something that is new with this warning. Also, it's been shaved from the north, so northern Allegheny County not in it as well. And here's the latest, by the way, that's coming out on that. It does remain in effect until 1:30. 5 miles northeast of Finnville to just northeast of Bangor near Decatur, moving to the east at 35, 65-mile-per-hour winds are possible here. Again, we continue to monitor this tornado warning that right now is for the Niles area. Like I said earlier, if you're around Pokagon, I think you should be taking cover. As it looks like to me that what they're really concerned about here is probably near Edwardsburg, just to the northwest of Edwardsburg. So if you're in that vicinity, then you should be taking cover. This warning, though, does include South Bend. So it does include South Bend. So if you're in the South Bend area and you're watching right now on my feed, I would also encourage you to, but you probably already are, checking out the feed from my peers down at our sister station down at WSBT, the CBS station there in South Bend. So that's why we're on Facebook Live and on YouTube Live right now. Definitely watching this cell as it comes up into Cass County here. Going to see what happens here next with this warning. But I do think if you're watching this feed and you're near Edwardsburg, if you're between Edwardsburg and Pokagon, if you're in Cassopolis, I think you probably should be taking cover with this line as it continues to move to the east. Now, in the meantime, we continue with that severe thunderstorm warning. Going to zoom in a little bit closer here. It has been trimmed just a little bit. But it does still cover much of Allegan County and the eastern 2/3, let's say, of Van Buren County. Let's go to our radar here, show you what's happening here as these storms continue to race off to the east. Remember, wind here could be in excess of 60 miles per hour. Let's put this into motion. You'll see what we have going on. I still do, but it does seem to me still that these are weakening when you just look at reflectivity here, this view. But whenever you look at some of the wind fields there that are identified by Doppler radar, it is still rather potent. And again, of most concern, I think the biggest concern right now is the potential for rotation that's going on right now, I believe, in westernmost Cass County. North of Edwardsburg right now. That would be north of US 12. So that's something we're going to keep an eye on as well. Let me get rid of that. I don't know why US 20 popped up. There we go. So if you're following along right now on Facebook, on our YouTube channel, we're going to keep up with this as it continues to move to the northeast. I do think that it is going to continue to show some signs of weakening. However, we might still have to follow this for a little while. So again, right now, severe thunderstorm warning for Allegan County, but primarily right now in Van Buren County. We're talking about Pine Grove, Bloomingdale, Paw Paw, Lawrence, seeing some gusty winds, but especially Lawton, Matawan, headed your way, headed right down 994. And then as we go southward, all the way into western Cass County around Dowagiac, and then also near Cassopolis. And I think that's where we could be having some issues here. But we're going to watch this and see. I think north of Edwardsburg is where we might have a little bit of rotation that's going on too. So we're going to watch that. I will say this, the tornado warning has been trimmed to where now it really is sort of, let's say, the east side of South Bend. All right, let's get back down to that map and I'll show you what we're looking at here. The east side of South Bend. There we go. Let's go down here. You can see how this has been trimmed. But it does continue here until 1:15. So it has another 6 minutes to go. This is radar indicated. Everything right now is radar indicated. And so we'll keep an eye on this as it continues to move off to the east as well. In fact, the motion for this cell here that is tornado warned is a tornado warning for southeastern Berrien. Okay, it's canceled. But it does remain in effect for southwest Cass County. So it is trimmed out of Berrien County now. It is trimmed out of Berrien County now. But southwestern Cass County is still in this tornado warning. This is 6 miles west of Cassopolis to Edwardsburg, to near Osceola, which is on the northeast side of South Bend, moving northeast at 50. This is radar indicated rotation. I think it's in that area that I was just sort of pointing out there, especially I would say north of Edwardsburg. They're not far from Edwardsburg. So we'll keep an eye on that as well. Okay, so we have a couple of things that we're letting you know about now. The severe thunderstorm warning, there's been a new severe thunderstorm warning. Okay, this one just coming out here, and this one does include westernmost St. Joe County, westernmost St. Joe County. So now we're starting to get closer to our area here. And that is going to be until 1:45. Wind gusts to 60 are possible here. Wind gusts to 60 are possible here. So that goes until 1:45. So we'll probably cut in on the air for that. Cut in on the air for that. So I'm going to leave the screen here just for a moment to go set up a cut in so that we'll be on the air here. And I will let people know about that. So I will be right back. Don't go anywhere. Continue our coverage here on Facebook and on YouTube. Like I said, I apologize in advance. I cannot read or I apologize for not being able to read your comments. Can't read your comments. All right, I'm preparing here for, going to prepare for this cut-in that we're going to do. There we go. I think this is going to work. Okay, here we go. I'll be right back. Hey, Jim, can you hear me in there? All right, I'm probably gonna have to do a cut in here. Sorry about that. I know, but still. I am not happy. I know that you're not. All right. Let's do this. You tell me whenever you are ready to go. Okay. Okay. All right, everybody, we're going to be doing a cut in on News Channel 3 here soon, primarily to let people in westernmost St. Joe County know about this severe thunderstorm warning that also covers Cass County. We'll also let the folks who might be watching us in southern Cass County along US 12, for example, around Edwardsburg, east of Niles, know about this tornado warning as well. And then also update folks on the St. Joe County, on the Van Buren and Allegan County severe thunderstorm warnings as well. As we continue to watch this move across to the northeast, I'm most interested in seeing what happens to this tornado warning, which is okay, buddy. I'm ready. Okay, here we go. We're about to go on air.
Category 3, but we're looking at severe storm coverage.
Hello, everyone. News Channel 3 Chief Meteorologist Keith Thompson live in the studio here with another weather update for you as another severe thunderstorm warning has been issued. Let's get to it. This one covers now all of Cass County, I should say, and westernmost St. Joe County. All of Cass County and westernmost St. Joe County. You do see that area in red. That's where there's a tornado warning. That is for northern Indiana, Elkhart County. It's now east of South Bend into Elkhart, but it does nose up into southwestern Cass County. So, for example, Edwardsburg, areas along US 12, they're right along the Michigan-Indiana state line are included in that. Also, we continue with a severe thunderstorm warning for Allegan and Van Buren County. That goes until 1:30, so that has 30 minutes left in it. So again, a severe thunderstorm warning right now. This is for Cass County as well as St. Joe County, and that goes until 1:30 in the morning. Let me get the latest on that for you. That goes until, 1:45. And then a severe thunderstorm warning for Allegan and Van Buren County. That goes until 1:30. These are for wind gusts of 60 miles per hour. And while we're here live on the air, the National Weather Service has allowed the tornado warning that had been in effect for northern Indiana, but a small portion of Cass County to expire. So there's no more tornado warning. So that's good news. We're going to continue monitoring these storms. Just to let you know, we're live on Facebook and on our YouTube channel as well. We'll get you back now to our regularly scheduled programming. All right, everybody, we're still here. As you see, we're still covering this. Good news. That's good news. You see on the map to your side there that the tornado warning has left the screen. So that's good news. So the radar indicated rotation. National Weather Service is now feeling that that threat has diminished. And so the warning has been taken away. I believe actually it was set to expire. And so it still is good that they let it expire. So here's what we have working right now. For those who are joining in or for those who are still with us, by the way, thanks for staying up. Allegan County now, I'm going to move our map over just a little bit so you can see what we're talking about. There we go. Much of Allegan County, the eastern 2/3 of Van Buren County, under a severe thunderstorm warning until 1:30 for radar indicated winds of 60. And then most of Cass County and westernmost St. Joe County, west of US 131, by the way. Glad they use that marker so that we can all know exactly where they mean. West of US 131, under a severe thunderstorm warning, that goes until 1:45. Now, let me get you the latest on that because I don't think I read you the latest on that. That is for wind gusting up to 60. These storms are moving to the northeast at 55. So this is going to be affecting White Pigeon, Edwardsburg, Marcellus, as this is going to be not only, of course, westernmost St. Joe County, but it covers much of Cass County. So 2 active warnings. And by the way, as you can see, it goes down into northern Indiana as well. I would show you that light show that was going on in South Haven, but that light show is past South Haven by, and so it's now moving to the east. And so we'll be seeing it probably pretty soon coming in on the Kalamazoo camera. Let me see if I can get Allegan camera up. Hey, as long as we're here just having a good time, let me see if I can get the Allegan County up, or Allegan camera up, and we can see what it looks like there. That shouldn't be too hard to do. Here we go. This should be a view of Allegan. Now this is looking though to the east, so I'm not sure how much, and I'm not really good on manipulating the camera. So there you go. There's some lightning that's going on right now in Allegan. Okay, so there's your Allegan camera. This is the Griswold Auditorium camera looking out, of course, over the bridge and over the Kalamazoo River. Some gusty wind here as well. Now, the warning for Allegan County and for Van Buren County, and by the way, these gusty winds are about to move into westernmost Kalamazoo County. So Alamo Township, Otsego, Matawan and Van Buren County, Texas Township. You're no doubt starting to feel the wind pick up as this has already blown through Paw Paw, or it's moving right across exit 60 right now along I-94, headed toward exit 66, the Matawan exit, and then eventually exit 72, mile marker 72, which is 9th Street, which would be then getting into western Kalamazoo. So it'll be interesting to see. It's always interesting to me to see what the National Weather Service decides to do whenever thunderstorms get to the border, or if they happen to get to the end of the timestamp. And so to sort of pick the brain, if you will, you can see the lightning, by the way, while I flap my jaws. You can see the lightning there going on in Allegan with these thunderstorms here. To see if the data that's coming in from National Weather Service Doppler radar indicates that these winds are weakening or holding their strength or maybe even strengthening. I think they're weakening. And if that is the case, then at 1:30, we're likely to see the severe thunderstorm warning for Van Buren and Allegan County go away, and it will not be extended into Kalamazoo County. Crossing fingers and toes for that to happen. That's the way it looks to me. In the meantime, the severe thunderstorm warning for westernmost St. Joe County and also for Cass County is going to continue until 12:45, but a similar story there too. The radar returns are always being monitored by the folks in either Grand Rapids or in North Webster, Indiana, for trends to see like what's going on. You can still see a lot of lightning. Of course, these are the thunderstorms. Let's go to reflectivity. We'll take a look at the radar to sort of give you an idea of what's going on. I'm getting my low power mode warning here for my laptop or my iPad, so I'm going to have to power that up. All right, let's put this into motion. If I were just looking at this and I didn't know that there were a couple of warnings out for this, I would sort of say that this is weakening, and I still think that it is. Thanks, by the way, for being patient with me here. This is definitely informal TV. Maybe that's because it's not TV. It's actually, of course, on social media platforms. So, all right, here we go. I'm going to plug up my iPad here before I lose it, so that we can keep that. That is an integral part of the coverage here. So I don't want to lose that. That's for sure. There we go. All right. There we go. Yeah, so we'll see. We have just a few minutes left, 8 minutes left. And again, I have to apologize for not being able to read your comments. That's one reason why it's so boring just listening to me all around here with these radar reports, because I cannot read your comments because it's on my phone. Well, probably the next time I stream coverage from the studio by myself when we have severe weather, I'm going to have to come up with another solution there. I thought I could read them on my laptop because I'm watching the feed on my laptop. But when I try to read the comments on my laptop, that's where I lose it. I lose the feed. And so I don't want to do that. Definitely don't want to do that. All right, here we go. There we go. I think, are we still in business? Yeah, we're still in business here. Okay, good. All right, so we have about another 7 minutes to go on the severe thunderstorm warning. Hold on, what are we getting here? Oh, okay. We are now getting a new tag on this, so there could be some rotation being noted within the severe thunderstorm warning. So that is a different ballgame. So let me go into here. We'll see. I would say this: if you are in Allegan County, if you are in the eastern half of Van Buren County, then you definitely should be paying extra attention here. Let me see if we'll go to our velocity product here. See if we can see anything that's going on within this. Well, I do see where we could have something interesting here. So we'll slide this around just a little bit. See if we've got anything going on here that might be of interest. So Um, we have to keep an eye on, it looks like the area that's right around the Allegan Van Buren County line. So we'll have to see how that shakes out. National Weather Service has 5 minutes to go, 6 minutes to go on this warning. And like I said, this is a bit of a new development here with this severe thunderstorm warning that now is being tagged as potential rotation here. So we need to certainly listen up. If you're in Allegan County, in this box, I'll show you the box. Or if you are in eastern Van Buren County, which I would think that this might then, as a result, get moved over into Kalamazoo County. Now, this gust front looks to me on radar to already be into Kalamazoo County. So I would expect, or I would not be surprised if we have a warning coming out at any moment for Kalamazoo County. So we're going to keep an eye out on this map right here. We're definitely going to keep an eye out on this map. Let me see if I can lose that box. There we go. Allegan Van Buren County line also are warning. So we're going to keep an eye on this. We have 4 minutes left until something has to be done. Looks to me like the leading edge. Yeah, this could be problematic, I think, around Alamo north to Plainwell. So we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see what happens. I would say if you're in the western half, if you're in the northwestern quadrant of Kalamazoo County, it'd probably be a good idea to at least have 1 foot in the shelter. And if you're in southeast Allegan County, if you're around Plainwell, maybe a good idea to do the same thing. Good idea to do the same thing. I want to wait and see if we can get some more clarity coming out, which we will in the next few minutes coming out of the National Weather Service. But that's what I'm looking at here. Let's go back to our reflectivity. I don't want to lose that warning map just in case something else comes out really quickly here. And I don't think I will. So there we go. Let's see. All right. Sorry, I forget that I'm not mic'd up, by the way, not with you. So let's see if I can get an idea here of what's going on. Northwest, Kalamazoo County, northeast, Van Buren County, southeast, Allegan County. We'll go to our velocity product. See if we see anything going on. I do see, we'll just have to wait and see. We're going to know in about 3 minutes. Right now, I would say that things just look interesting. So I would say if you're in Plainwell, if you're in Alamo, it might be a good idea to at least, like I said, at least to have your plan ready to go. And we'll wait and see on that. You see our velocity product there. These winds are pretty stout, still coming along. As this sort of gust front, you can sort of see what we're looking at here. This area of wind that right here is sort of like bowing out just a little bit, right? These winds, of course, are racing off in this direction. And so that's what we're looking at there. And oftentimes is what happened, by the way, Tuesday night. It's along these long lines of thunderstorms. So I go back to reflectivity here. It's along these long lines of thunderstorms that are racing eastward where we see maybe some spin ups. So that's what I think is sort of being examined right now with this line that's moving rapidly off to the east. Just about to approach US 131. Here's the latest, by the way, on the severe thunderstorm warnings. Just have a couple of minutes left in the one in Allegan and also in Van Buren County. It goes until 1:30. It is 1:28 right now. So we'll see what is done with this particular cluster or this cell. I think it's already moved into northwest Kalamazoo County, to be honest with you. And so not seeing anything on that. However, the tag that we're getting for this warning is still, everything is radar indicated. But I think that there is some concern that there could be some rotation within this particular area. But we will know here pretty soon. If you see on the screen here, to my left, if you see on the screen here, things sort of disappear. Those orange boxes disappear. in about another minute or so, then that would certainly be good news, because that would mean that the National Weather Service has decided to let those warnings expire and not do anything with them. So sometimes this is just a waiting game. I see some things that could be interesting, like I said, to me, but it's also what I see. I feel like it's sort of moved into northwest Kalamazoo County. So we'll see. There's going to be gusty winds all up and down that boundary there. And so, by the way, if you're in eastern Allegan County, from Watson right down to Otsego, down to Plainwell, you're going to have some strong winds here. They'll eventually, already pushing through Hopkins, or headed your way there in Orangeville, and eventually making their way over toward Gun Lake. And we have just another 15 seconds to go, 10 seconds to go. As you can see, there a change now. The National Weather Service in northern Indiana shaving a lot of that warning off from Cass County, but western St. Joe County are still in it. Now we'll see if the warning is allowed to expire and it is. Okay, so there we go. That's good news. That is good news. So a sign there that a sign there, if only, a sign there that the severe thunderstorm is weakening as it moves into Kalamazoo. Looking at our Kalamazoo camera here, and not even really seeing a lot of lightning with this right now. Nothing like what we saw when these were coming in to the lakeshore here. This is now the only thing that we have left right now is in eastern Cass County and in western St. Joe County. So that is good news. That is definitely good news. That goes until 1:45, by the way. You can see that extends down into northern Indiana. Let me show you what it looks like in the big picture here. I do believe it's safe to say that this is winding down. And so I think in just a few minutes, we might be able to safely call the dogs off, if you will. And so that's good news. Let's put this into motion. And you can see this line continues to move to the east. I believe it's weakening. It looks to me like it's weakening as it moves toward US 131, moving into western Kalamazoo County right now. But again, just to note, the only severe thunderstorm warning right now is in eastern Cass County and westernmost St. Joe County. There it is. So US 131 west in St. Joe County, and then eastern part of Cass County. So it'd probably be about M40 east, something like that, under a severe thunderstorm warning for radar indicated winds of up to 60 miles per hour. But I do believe that this might be winding down just a little bit. I do want you to know, hold on, I went to the wrong screen there. There you go. I'm going to see here, I'm going to put up another screen real quick just to see if there have been any reports that are coming in of any kind of storm damage going all the way down into Indiana. Listen, these storms were so much stronger in Wisconsin and in Illinois, especially Illinois and eastern Iowa. So let's see, I'm going to put what we call some badges on here to see if there were any storm reports. We had a few storm reports, a few wind reports, but notice all of these little circles, these are all indicators here of storm damage, whether it be tornadoes, which is, let's get in a little bit closer into Wisconsin, these red badges, or whether it be wind damage, which is like these little branches that you can see, or whether it be wind gusts. So it looks like we have a pretty potent wind gust here around South Haven. So we can click on that and it'll tell us the report. This is at 12:41, so it was about an hour ago, but a gust of 43. I mean, that's not something to write home to mom about, as I used to say back in my high school days. Let's see what we got just up the lakeshore there. It looks like there might be another one in Holland. I would bet that it's probably similar. It is 42 mile per hour at Makatawa. Now, it might be a little bit stronger. I think it's probably going to be a little bit stronger hear the thunder right now in Kalamazoo. I'm looking at the Kalamazoo camera here to see. We'll be seeing these thunderstorms coming through here anytime. Probably a little bit stronger with this badge down here in Michigan City, but I do think it's important to note that as the models really had sort of projected, what do we got? 47 miles per hour. So that's still not even severe criteria. But when you work your way out to the west, that's where it gets more substantial. So we have some stronger wind out here. And of course, several reports of tornadoes here right along the Wisconsin, Illinois border. So we're talking some serious wind out here around Pontiac, for example. Let's query this one and see what it is. 50 mile per hour gust. So a little bit stronger when you work your way out to the west. In fact, if I zoom out just a little bit, you're going to see that it's a lot busier west. Look at all that. Okay. I know that earlier we had like close to 400 reports of severe weather, with most of that in in Illinois and Iowa and Wisconsin, and almost 24 reports of tornadoes. And again, all of those pretty much exclusively out here to the west. Look how busy this line was. Well, we're on the edge of it. And so we catch it when it's weakening. And so that ends up, I think, being good news for us. So I'm going to take one more quick tour here, Jim, just one more quick tour here, because we're going to be getting closer to the endpoint anyway for the latest warning from the National Weather Service. Oh, do you have it? Oh, thank you. Yeah. 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 If you want to pop that up. Oh, I forgot though. We're not on the air. Sorry. Yeah. No. So I'm looking at, well, I do. I have that. Hold on just a moment. Let's look. We're looking at Bronson Park. Sorry, I'm talking to the director, Jim, who is manipulating a camera for me here. And I'm forgetting, going back and forth between what I think I'm on television, I'm not. Of course, we're on social media. So, but what I can do is, let's see, let's take a look at that downtown Kalamazoo camera with the showers and storms moving in. There it is. Okay, there it is. You can see it. It's just some rain. I'm looking at the flag in front of City Hall. Yeah, it's a little bit blowing a little bit, but you know, this is obviously not strong gust front material here. So that's good news. That's good news. That's the look there at Bronson Park with the camera. Thanks, Jim, for turning that around and aiming it more into the storm. And you know what? We're not even really seeing the light show. Right on cue. We're not even really seeing the light show that we were seeing earlier in South Haven, for example. And again, another sign that I think this is weakening. All right, I'm going to pop back in this warning. I wouldn't be surprised if it's gone. Let's see if we can. No, it's still there, but it just has another 8 minutes to go. That is for western St. Joe County, west of US 131, and eastern Cass County, in the neighborhood of US 40, not US 40, but M40 East. But again, as I just showed you, there aren't really any kind of storm reports that are impressive at all coming out of this. It shows every sign of weakening. So probably I'm going to be winding this down here pretty soon. And also that means that we can give the all clear and just say, like, you know, there isn't, you can actually go to sleep and listen to the rain and listen to the thunder and not be wondering if your safety is at stake. Tornado watch is still in effect until 3 o'clock, but notice how much of this has been shaved. This went all the way over to northern Illinois. So I think this too is academic when it comes to, we're going to go back to the radar here. And we'll see if there's anything. This line, by the way, this line, in my opinion, should be celebrated because this line, since we're all friends here on social media, this line is really sort of bringing in a new weather pattern. This is the end of what has been days, right? Days of thunderstorms. Get this. Since last Friday, 41, 64, 129, 30, 202. We've had more than 3 inches of rain just in the last week. Now that's a typical month. In April, that's a typical month's worth of rain. We've had that just in the last week. And now, I'm not even talking about the rain that's coming in right now. As of today, sorry, Friday, now yesterday, we had 6.5 inches of rain for the month of April. 6.5 inches. That is more than twice our normal month. And we still have 2 weeks to go, or just shy of that. So this is good. The rain, which is coming down pretty heavily right now in downtown Kalamazoo. You can see I've got the radar up. Let's put that Kalamazoo camera back. But you see this big line of thunderstorms. It is definitely weakening. It's definitely weakening. By the way, check this out. That is not an anomaly. That is actually a few flurries right now, right along, let's see, moving into Eau Claire, Wisconsin. A few flurries. I don't think that we're going to be seeing that kind of stuff here, but let me show you the Kalamazoo camera again for you insomniacs out there who are with me. Thank you so much. I'm a night owl. There it is. This is a live look now in Bronson Park. It is raining hard. It is raining hard. Got a little bit of lightning, a little bit of thunder. But when this rain moves out, which by the way, there's going to be some thunderstorms headed into Battle Creek, right? I don't think it's going to be severe, but with some rain, once this moves out, which is going to take a little while, we're going to still see some showers, I think, even around daybreak on Saturday. But by Saturday afternoon, the rain's gone. And I think then we're looking at dry weather, likely until next Friday. And we need that. It means a rest from the flooding rain. It means a rest from the potential for severe weather as well. So that's a live look right now at downtown Kalamazoo with the rain, with the lightning that's coming down. But I can tell you this, there is no severe alert with this line in Kalamazoo. There is a severe thunderstorm warning for western Branch County, western St. Joe County, west of US 131, and eastern Cass County. But that only has another 3 minutes to go. And I think once that goes, we will be warning free as this continues to show signs of weakening. So, Jim, I'm going to hang with it here just for another 3 minutes. Thank you so much. By the way, Jim doesn't like to take credit, but Jim is here with me. I'm not here by myself. Couldn't be on the air if I was here by myself. So thanks to Jim for hanging out. It's what everybody wants to do on your Friday night, right? Is spend an extra few hours here. So when this goes away, then I'll probably leave our social media pages as well. And I do expect that these warnings will disappear in probably about 3 minutes. So what's coming up next? While I have an opportunity, I was telling you about, right? I was telling you about what's coming in behind this. You've probably already seen it. I know I've posted it on my social pages, but the 7-day forecast shows this rain. Well, this is already advanced to Sunday. So the rain's going to be around through daybreak, maybe a little bit afterward. Wouldn't be surprised if we still have some cooler showers. It's going to start getting much cooler tomorrow in the morning and the afternoon. Temps will be falling during the day tomorrow. By the time we get to Saturday afternoon, certainly Saturday evening, I think the skies will be clearing. Sunday morning, we're looking at a low in the mid 30s, and it is jacket weather on Sunday, a high of 46. We'll still be chilly. Monday morning's low of 25. This is why I say I would never put any tender plants in the ground unless you have plans to cover them or keep them warm. Not this early in the planting season. It's going to be 25 Monday morning. We'll still be chilly Monday, but our temps really rebound quickly Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Some comfy weather ahead next week. But the key here is we have several days of dry weather. And so what you hear outside right now, if you're in Kalamazoo, we're hearing it for sure. It's coming down pretty hard. What you heard earlier in South Haven with these big thunderstorms, it's heralding the beginning of a new weather pattern. Pattern change, right? Talk about that if you watch my Facebook Lives. Pattern change means what? It means a substantially different weather pattern that's moving in, and it's going to be here for a little while. Okay? Today's sunshine was not a pattern change. It was just a little bit of a blip in between storms that we had yesterday and that we're having tonight. But pattern change is taking hold tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow night, certainly Monday. And that pattern change is going to be longer lasting. That's what you see in the 7-day, with starting off with cooler temperatures, but then sunshine and dry weather. So a pattern change is what we've needed, and that's what we certainly have. All right, with a minute to go, I'm going to go and see if this is already expired or if they've let it go, if they've canceled it. Thank you for being with me, by the way. I'm sorry I couldn't read the comments. I miss reading the comments. All I hear then is me talking about stuff. All right, here we go. Western St. Joe County, west of US 131, eastern Cass County, severe thunderstorm warning. There's still rain. There's still some thunderstorms out there, but indications are that this is continuing to weaken as it moves off to the east. That said, Hastings, bit of a wind blast coming your way to Lake Odessa, to Nashville, and Assyria Township, and Vermontville there in eastern Berry County, Battle Creek, going through Climax and Scotts and Augusta right now. Headed your way, Battle Creek and Athens, and then eventually Marshall and Albion as it sort of blows right on through. It's moving through Ionia County right now, Belding, Portland, Ionia, seeing that blow through right now as well. And there it goes. So there you go. Let me pop this up. There you go. Okay, so yeah. So the last of the warnings are over. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for being with me. We're going to end our coverage here. And so I don't expect anything else to come about tonight. So again, I appreciate you hanging with me here. And Colin Rogers will be here live at 6 a.m, not too far from right now. And so hopefully you'll follow right along with him as well. No more warnings. I do believe we might still have that tornado watch for Berrien and Cass County, but like I said, it's pretty much academic. So if you've been watching, waiting for these words, you can sleep peacefully tonight and listen to the rain. If something were to change, of course, we'll be back here, but I don't believe that's going to happen. Good night, everybody. Have a great weekend. I'll be in touch from time to time, and we'll talk again soon. Let's be safe. Thanks. Ask her about upstairs. So I'll go ahead and take this stuff off. You can go ahead and
Are we? Okay, I'll talk to you before
I'm so sorry.
oh, so, dude, I was planning on being here till 2 o'clock anyway.
Wow.
Well, I mean, as of yesterday, I was.
I know still it was like,
No, it would have been nice, but I mean, I can't tell you the last time I've heard anything. I didn't expect it to take.
probably not better. That way. All right, I'm gonna do some feed up. That's it.
All right, I'll meet you back in here.
Okay.
I'm gonna let Clay know that we're closing up shop for the night.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, thank you. Yeah.